the best that hits. Here we go. Looking for that angle raise. A double. The maybe get free. Got this. Run it back. Bang. Got it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, you do. What a shot.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
Seneca looks around. Pass outside the line. Here's from the Oilers again. It's a goal.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Sol 593, Wednesday, January 28th. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. So glad you're with us on your AM radio dial on your morning drive into work or wherever you're heading out to on a Wednesday morning. Fabulous temperatures again in the City of Champions as the week progresses into the weekend, into next week as well. You can also watch us on YouTube, though, on Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like, a subscription. We're also on X, Facebook, Instagram, and even Twitch. As always, we're streaming on the many services that are out there. iHeartRadio, TuneIn, app, sports1440.ca, and then all the shows turn into the many podcasts that are out there. Check them out, and they're readily available on Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon. Subscribe, please. It's free. Select auto download. You'll never miss a second of the show. Yeah, so glad you're with us. And our text line, 833-401-1440. What's on your mind this morning? It's a little different because the Oilers had a day off yesterday. Usually been playing every second day, it seems, but a day off yesterday, so the players were off. They'll be back at practice today at 11 and getting ready for tomorrow's game against the San Jose Sharks. Where could it finally happen? Could they win 3 in a row? It hasn't happened yet. Could it happen tomorrow? San Jose's here tomorrow. The Sharks were in Vancouver last night, beat Vancouver. What else is new? I think Vancouver with 1 win now and over a dozen. Macklin Celebrini had 4 points, so he's kind of going, hey, looking at the scoring race, Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon are a little ahead of everyone, but Macklin Celebrini looks at Leon Draisaitl the other night with 4 apples and goes, I might as well throw 4 points on the board too. So those two guys are deadlocked when it comes to the NHL scoring race behind the likes of Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon, Nikita Kucherov. Celebrini was tied with Leon before last night. The 4 points that he picked up move him ahead of Leon by that 4. So they went in tied. Celebrini gets 4, so he's at 78 now. Leon's at 74. It was an interesting slate of NHL games last night, was it not? And actually, the Duke of Delburne had it in as one of the questions for our in or out. He picked a couple of games that he thought that he might want to be keeping an eye on. I believe those games were Chicago and Minnesota and Utah and Florida. I was like the other way around. I wanted to see the reaction of some other teams in the NHL, most notably the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm like everyone else around town here pretty well, except the diehard Leaf fans. The more or the less Leafs talk, the better. But when the Leafs are going poorly, it's kind of nice to give them a little jab or two, and things are going bad right now in Toronto, are they not? They finish this homestand out. They get 1 win, or 1 point, pardon me. They were just abysmal. They got pounded by Buffalo last night, 7-4. Rasmus Dahlin had 3 goals, had 2 assists. So, defensemen are scoring hat tricks just for fun lately. Evan Bouchard picks up 3 on the weekend. Matthias Ekholm, 3 the other night. Rasmus Dahlin, 3 last night. Also had 2 assists for a 5-point night. And this is the night that Daryl Sittler's honored. 50 years ago, when Daryl Sittler picked up 10 points in a game, and they honored him before the contest. There were some great lines by some Leaf players before the contest saying 10 points in a game. And some of these guys didn't even know. Like, they don't even know that. You should know the history of the game. But 10 points in one game. I don't even have 10 points all season, some guy said. So that was nostalgic. And, you know, when you have friends out on the ice with you like Lanny McDonald and things like that, and Daryl Sittler's one of the greatest Leafs of all time. And had it not been for his deteriorating relationship with Harold Ballard, he would have stuck around Toronto, and he still is one of the greatest Leafs of all time. But quite likely, maybe he would have finished his career and been an all-time Leaf with the likes of the others. But that's just how the relationship was with the cantankerous Harold Ballard back in the day. As I mentioned, the Duke picked his two games. Minnesota beat Chicago. That was in a shootout. And Utah comes back and beats Florida. Utah gets shut out the night prior in Tampa, 2-0, I believe. Utah comes back and beats Florida by a score of 4-3. That was without Dylan Guenther, didn't play last night. So those were the two games that the Duke had on his docket to keep an eye on. Besides the Buffalo-Toronto game, for me, it was really Vegas and Montreal. And the Montreal Canadiens just find a way. They beat Vegas 3-2 in overtime. So the 1 point for Vegas, I guess you could say it sort of helps the Oilers. Vegas moves a point ahead of the Oilers when it comes to the standings in the Pacific Division, and they use up a game in hand, which they have. So 52 games for Vegas. They got 63 points. Oilers are a point back with 2 more games played. Also last night, the LA Kings go into Detroit and win 3-1 over the Red Wings, a typical Kings game. They were up 2-0 with about a minute and a half, and Detroit scored a late goal, and LA hangs on with an empty netter, 3-1 the final. Also last night, Seattle beats Washington 5-1. The Jets needed a big win, and they get one in Jersey 4-3. Dallas gets by St. Louis 4-3. And the other game, Boston, in overtime, a winner against the Nashville Predators. Oil Kings in action tonight in Calgary against the Flames. Text line 833-401-1440. A couple of football notes that we got to get to. For one, Nathan Rourke signed an extension with the BC Lions late yesterday. It runs through 2028. He was the MOP last year with a fabulous season with the Lions. Had over 5,200 yards passing, 31 TDs. He also rushed for 10 more TDs, so 41 total. The only stat that Rourke, if he can clean up on, he had 16 picks. Man, you cut that down to single digits, that is a hell of a season. He had 564 yards rushing, too. So he will be remaining as the league's highest paid player. Last year, he was just under $625,000 in hard money. With this extension and the cap moving up a little bit, we'll see some numbers fall out here. I'm sure the guys down at Third Down Nation will sniff that out, but I'm sure he'll be with this extension running through 2028, pushing 7, who knows, maybe more to the 8s. We'll see what goes on there. Yesterday, I can't remember the amount of reaction with Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer, with the amount of reaction and more so even the outpouring of support from former players that could not believe this. I think it's a big deal that he didn't get in. Some people think, what's the big deal? I think it is a massive deal that he didn't get in on the first ballot. Some people, well, he's just going to go in next year. Well, then what's the point of doing all this? What's the point of having it? Like the stats, the numbers are there. And I understand all of the things why there might be people that don't vote for him. To me, it just doesn't make sense. He's behind Shula, Don Shula in wins, and George Halas, I guess, technically. But he's got the most postseason wins, 6 Super Bowls. He was, head coach in Cleveland, DC's before that. Yes, he had controversy in his career with Spygate and then Deflategate. He was fine. They lost draft picks. But the run that they had for almost 2 decades with Belichick and Brady in New England is unprecedented. 249 wins, a 769 winning percentage over that time. It's just insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, the numbers fell off when Brady left. For sure they did. I mean, they lost some other pieces to the puzzle as well. So the reaction, again, from players and coaches, I mean, guys like Jimmy Johnson, man, he took this personally. Tom Brady, J.J. Watt, all of these players that could not believe that voters would do this. And there are some reasons why. Again, we talked about the Spygate, Deflategate. The new rules are different because coaches are eligible 1 year after 5. Maybe that had something to do with it. There were maybe some voters thought that Belichick was going to make it in, and some of the other voters challenged or funneled their votes to other possibilities that were going in. There were there's other players on the ballot as well. So there are many ways to look at this, but for the most part, when you look at it, people that are close to the game, way closer than anyone here in Edmonton, they were flabbergasted that this didn't happen. Hey, let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne on a Wednesday morning. Good morning, Duke. How was your night last night?
Oh, it was fine.
Yeah.
Nothing too particularly eventful. Watched some curling. Kind of dove into that for the first time here. The Scotties getting away. The all Alberta matchup between the Skurlik and Sturmey rinks was a pretty back and forth game. Came down towards the final couple
great.
rocks.
I watched it too.
And that was essentially my night. And it's kind of weird with this compact schedule. It feels a little like throws everything off rhythm with the Oilers being out of action even just 2 days in a row, right? And it's just, they better get used to it, because here in another week time, we're not going to see them for 3 weeks. But in the meantime, we still got a few contests to attend to, of course, starting with the Sharks tomorrow night. But no, things are rolling along, and
I watched
Scotty's back on
too,
again this morning.
Yeah. Skurlik got back in the game, man. She made some great shots
for being down where she was for rip.
Yeah.
And then coming down to, the final score looks lopsided, obviously, because Sturmey makes a great throw in her last rock, one which we were kind of talking about it, watching it, my family and I, like, she doesn't even need to throw this, right?
Yeah.
She needs one. She's sitting shot rock, and it was close, but I think from the TV view, it appeared pretty evident that she was shot stone. But she makes a great throw with her last rock and scores 4. So.
And they were looking at maybe there was a banging of a broom, and maybe that
a little bit of controversy, maybe not the necessarily right word, but all the same. So interesting way it fell out, but really competitive match between the two Alberta rinks are well representing this year.
Sturmey wins to improve to 4-1. Skurlik is at 3-2 now. Would need a little bit of help here moving forward. Top 3 teams in each pool advance. When the Bill Belichick stuff came down, I don't think I've seen this much reaction in a long time, Duke.
The primary thing, the primary sentiment that I saw from, as you mentioned, former players, guys that vote for it, and listen, there's guys that vote on this that we've had on the show in the past, chiming in and kind of like being transparent about where their votes were and how it fell down. It's absolutely mind-boggling. This is arguably, and to some maybe not so arguably, the greatest coach that has ever been in the NFL. And to not, like, if he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, then who is? And I know Gregor talked about it a little bit yesterday, kind of on the topic of if this is in fact his punishment for Spygate, Deflategate, and some other things that maybe weren't as
that's not up to these writers.
That's what I mean.
It's not up to these writers.
And those went punished by the league.
Yeah.
Now, were they extensive enough in real time? Some say not so much, but I have a hard time grasping how someone of Bill Belichick's accomplishments and resume doesn't become a Hall of Famer on his first entry. And yes, he absolutely will get in, probably next year. But there is also something to be said about, your legacy as a coach, as a person in the game of football, and being a first ballot Hall of Famer. That does matter.
Well, Don Shula was a first ballot Hall of Famer. He has the most wins. Again, different scenario, different setup, because Shula had to wait 5 years. And maybe because it's the 1 year thing, that had something there. Again, Deflategate, Spygate, but it's not about the punishment thing there. These guys, these are writers that hold biases, that get pissed off when they talk to Belichick and say, well, I didn't like the way he answered a question. So you're going to hold him in disregard and not put him in the Hall. All I know, Duke, is there wasn't one player or one coach that went to either social media or that was interviewed yesterday in any publication that said, oh, yeah, this is the right thing to do. this is the right call here. Belichick shouldn't go in on the first ballot.
Right.
There wasn't one guy. And these are other coaches too, like many other coaches. So if there would have been some guys that would have said, yeah, this is probably, I could see this. I could see it happening. But there wasn't one guy.
No.
So, and
Yeah,
we're going to know in what,
very
9 days?
confusing.
We'll know in 9 days because, and again, that's the transparency of voting. And all the voters, and like Jared Bell is one of them. He's been on our show many times. He came out yesterday saying, I voted for him. I can't believe the Hall of Fame committee and the writers that are on this committee. I can't believe he didn't get 80% of the vote.
And another recurring guest for us, Armando Salguero from Outkick. He actually put this out last night. He personally was the one who presented Bill Belichick in the coach subcommittee meeting, moved him forward to the full committee, and then he was the presenter for his case there as well. And then, goes on to say, stunned, disappointed, disagree deeply with the at least 11 selectors who did not vote him for this year's Hall of Fame class. And he had an article that went up after the fact, kind of breaking it all down and where his cases were made in his presentation and why they counteracted some of the arguments about the controversies of Belichick's career. But yeah, it really, I don't know if there's a better word for it than stunning, frankly.
DS text, and I'd bet my life Andy Reid is a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's a character thing, and must be a character thing. That's what he says. It's true. And Andy Reid will, by the time it's all said and done, will have quite likely more playoff wins than Bill Belichick. I think he's 3 or 4 behind right now, Duke. He's not going to have the Super Bowls, obviously. But, I mean, a very, very popular coach and a great coach. And again, we'll know in 9 days who these 10, 11 writers are. They're going to be outed, and people are going to be pissed off at them because what happens is you lose your credibility. You lose your credibility as a reporter, and it's that simple. That simple. We'll get to some more texts on this, 833-401-1440. Little different show today, Duke. We don't have a 7:20 guest, but Russell Brown coming in at 7:40, or is it 7:45?
Yes, in that third break there. But yeah, because I was really scrambling to try and get somebody to talk some football. Obviously, we're in the bye week, if you want to call it, and lead up to the Super Bowl. But Russell, talks NFL on a week-to-week basis, based out of Detroit, so Lions focused. But figure you get a little insight, and then it's also Senior Bowl week. Yeah. So kind of almost for all of us that don't have teams playing in the Super Bowl, our attention is already turned ahead to the upcoming NFL draft and maybe what sort of talent pool is available to the teams this year. Yeah, and in about 40 minutes, we'll have the announcement of the Canadian Olympic flag bearers. That's at 8 o'clock our time. There's some great athletes that have, done our country proud for sure. But I'm betting that most of our listeners and most of the Canadian sports fans won't know a lot of who these athletes are that will be up for this. They know, okay, well, Sidney Crosby is a great choice, but he's not going to be there. So he's not going to be the flag bearer. Marie-Philippe Poulin, great choice, but she was the flag bearer back in 2022. So when you take those two out of the mix, the notoriety or the knowledge of most Canadian sports fans with the remaining athletes, because again, we say it every year, every 4 years we say it, and we say it all the time with Lorianne Munzer, sadly, but it is the way it is, the reality of things. Most of these athletes that are in the Olympics, we fall in love with them, we support them, we cheer for them, we get behind them for 2 or 3 weeks, and then we forget about them, and we forget their names. I mean, there are some athletes that will be considered for this flag bearer position this morning that a lot of Canadian sports fans will go, man, I think I remember the name. I think I know what sport that is. I think I know what the sport this person was playing or was in the Olympics in prior years or on the World Cup circuit. But if you were doing a quick little match with a sport and athlete, I think a lot of Canadian sports fans would get a lot wrong. So, I mean, the possibilities for the potential of a flag bearer could be someone like a Rachel Holman that at least people in our country know and, have seen her
in the Olympic cycle before and on the curling circuit. But ideally, there are also other, possibilities. And the names that I kind of wrote down and looked at last night, Elliot Grondin, he's, this is a possibility as a World Cup winner, back-to-back title winner in snowboard cross. So he's been at the Olympics before, medaled before. Evgeny Blondin, it's a long track speed skater. So there's the opportunity there. Michael Kingsbury in moguls. I mentioned Homan. And then there's some other possibilities maybe in figure skating. Maybe there's Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier. But these are names that, again, people, they see in that Olympic cycle. So we'll know more about that in about an hour. I don't know. I think a lot of people would love to see someone like Rachel Homan carry the flag, but who knows? There's so many other athletes that are so deserving that the Olympics is the end all be all for them all the time, and that's just how it goes. Thank you for the text from whoever it said. I said Oil Kings are playing the Flames. I had it written down as Calgary. So, and thanks for your name too. Tell me you don't know WHL teams. So the Oil Kings are in Calgary tonight to play the Hitmen. It's funny when you talk about NHL for, 6 minutes or whatever it was, that you might have the NHL team on your mind. I apologize profusely for that. Same as a perplexed Oiler fan I've just about had enough of this guy. Good morning, Toronto media. That's his text that comes in. Thanks for that. You are just so sharp, Radio Free. It's just so sharp. Talked about the Leafs for 45 seconds. Get a grip. When we come back, we'll get to more of your text, 833-401-1440. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick, and Mac the Intern on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpot's Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Get ready for an action-packed experience at Rogers Place. The Edmonton Oil Kings are the first choice for family entertainment.
Every home game starts at $20 a seat. With extra concession value thanks to Calmont, kids' food combos start at just $7.50.
Sink your teeth into options like hot dogs, popcorn, grilled cheese, pizza, burgers, and more. All Calmont kids' food combos are $10 or less.
Edmonton Oil Kings Hockey. The value is king size.
Don't wait. Great seats start at only $20 at oilkings.ca.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports? Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
Start your day with a blast of sports. Kevin Karius, along with Brandon Douglas, brings the fire, the fun, and the fearless takes. Weekdays, 7 to 11. Text Kevin, 883-401-1440. Mornings with Sports 1440.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in stock, ready to deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Get ready.
We're going to make you an offer you can't refuse.
Shoresy's back, and it's only on Crave.
We need total buy-in from every guy in this room.
The Smash Hit Series returns for a brand new season.
We're going to be playing the EU All-Stars.
Shoresy is facing his toughest competition yet.
This EU team is spectacular.
They are not scared of them.
Hear that, Shorzy?
Let's make sure they never forget who we are.
Shoresy, new season, stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Stop.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 727 in Edmonton. So glad you're with us here on a Wednesday morning, right in the middle of the week. Oilers back in action tomorrow with the San Jose Sharks in town. Our text line 833-401-1440. Hey, thanks, Glenn, for putting your name in. He says, I was just bugging you, big guy. My name is Glenn. How about this one from Brucer? This is good, though. Easy mistake, KK. The Oil Kings could probably still beat the Flames, and that's kind of funny, actually. Appreciate you. Bruce. Big Rig. You guys are great. Not even an Oil fan, but tune in every day. Some people think it should only be Oilers. Talk the whole time, but keep the good shows going. Well, again, we try to get all sports. And again, when you have 4 hours, and I understand the enormity and how big the Oilers are. I mean, covering this team for a long, long time. And I understand the fabric that it's been woven into our city, for even longer. And what happened to get the team here in the 80s, and then how things changed with the 90s because of salaries and things, and getting back on track for a little bit of time there in 06, and then how bad it was. And I understand, man, the passion that these fans have. When you go to the games and just walking up, to Rogers Place right now, or even back in the day at Rexall, and you run the gamut of fans that are there, that are going to the games and just hanging out. They might be having a cigarette outside or whatever, or just walking up to the building. And just because, I was at Global a long time, so you might get someone might recognize you and whatever. And they talk to you and they say, man, oh man, they always want to talk about the Oilers. And what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? I understand the passion that this city has for this team, and it's as good as it gets anywhere. Montreal is the benchmark because you can talk about the complexity of things here. It's even different in Quebec. It's almost like they say as a religion out there. But I mean, our fans here in Edmonton are second to none, and I appreciate everyone's input on things like that about where and how we produce this show and what we run and what we talk about. But a lot of times there are things that, take, I'm not saying precedent, but they're worth talking about. They are worth mentioning, like the Belichick thing. And to be honest with you, I was fascinated with the Nathan Rourke contract yesterday to be extended in BC because it's big, big money. It's a Canadian guy that is saying, well, I'm hanging around here. I would be shocked if somehow there was a window or a portal for him to return to the NFL, because I think that ship has sailed, has it not? What's he going to do there? He's going to go on the sidelines and hang on to a clipboard. I mean, Ricky Ray tried it. Remember when Ricky Ray tried it here? Went down to the Jets and was probably just as good as whoever they had down there, 3 or 4 on the depth chart, but he never had a sniff. So, for Nathan Rourke to commit to the BC Lions and the CFL, and he's got some things to do as well. He's got some things that he needs to work on. There was all that talk, and Eddie Steele and I discussed it quite a bit on the show where, he was almost the face of the league, marketing the league. You know, he said some comments as well, you know, when the league announced some rule changes. I don't think the league was happy with them, but if you're close to the game, you were probably happy in the sense that I think most people don't like the rule changes or think they're unnecessary. I'm in that boat. Eddie and I are in the same boat with the feeling that these rule changes in the CFL aren't necessary. They're not going to bring in new fans. You might lose fans, in fact. 833-401-1440. Stair Farmer says, good morning, guys. Have a great show. MTR, whoever didn't vote for Belichick should have their voting rights stripped. He's got 8 Super Bowls. They're going to do this when he's up 2. What a joke. Yeah, we're on the same page with something, MTR. I just don't understand it. And I mean, some people are saying that what's the big deal? He'll get in next year. Well, then what do we have this for then? What's the sense to have a first ballot Hall of Famer? Look, this has happened in other sports where there have been so many players worthy of being even a unanimous decision in baseball. And some donkey goes, hey, I'm going to be the guy that leaves this guy off the ballot because I just don't think he should be a first 100% ballot, especially in Major League Baseball, how they tabulate the votes. The king of Fort Nasty. Good morning, crew. Don't let him get to you, Karius. The trolls will troll. In 2026, you can't stop the keyboard warriors from being jabronis. You guys run a stellar show. Just the way a sports talk morning show should be. Keep it up. Have a fabulous day. Wow. The king of Fort Nasty, Duke. That's your guy. The king.
He's got your back, Kev.
Does he ever? What did we talk about the Leafs for like 40 seconds, if that?
And here's the thing. My understanding as a transplanted Edmontonian was that if there's one thing that rivals how much Oilers fans like talking about being the Oilers, number one, is talking about the Leafs being bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's their next favorite thing.
Yeah.
I thought everyone would have loved you to mention it. Oh, yeah, by the way, they're in complete disarray. They've lost 5 straight.
Yeah.
They're now 8 points back of the Sabres in the playoff chase.
Yeah.
I would have thought everyone would have got a nice little grin across their face here in that brief update from you.
And listen, I'll make it clear too. This league is way better when the Leafs get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
Think about it. Poor Specs. He's going to be exclusively limited to hotel room coffees when he does head out on the road instead of being able to go down to whatever it is in Vegas and get himself a $14 grande espresso. It's not going to be possible for Spec anymore. His per diem's going to be cut without Toronto in the playoffs this year. Poor Spec.
Yeah, well, you know, for Spec, the bigger picture is when he goes to Vegas, right? Because it's the bagel and the coffee for, is it what, $24?
Something like that, right? You know, yeah.
But shocking. He does. It's on his per diem, right?
It has to be. But here's the thing: if it is, he's using his entire day and a half per diem on one bagel and coffee, probably.
But he might not even get a per diem. He might just get, all right, here's the card, put it on, and just hand in the expenses. You know
expense report it all.
Yeah.
Well, when you're Spec, I mean. You basically do what you want.
Well,
you run the show.
Exactly. Text 833-401-1440 from Wardo in YYC. Hey, thanks for listening in Calgary, Wardo. Morning, KK and Duke. With regards to Belichick, surprised that those media experts didn't realize the potential blowback of their pettiness. I bet some of them are shaking in their space boots. They have 10 days to hide, and I hope they get blasted for their bias. I admit I can't handle Belichick's rudeness to media. You know what? Neither can I. But I also can't ignore what a great football mind and coach he was. Deserved to be first ballot. Just saying, Wardo and YYC. Stephen Wetaskiwin, as long as the Leafs are awful, I love the talk. They're in a free fall in a terrible culture. Tell me more. Man, oh man, what are they going to do here? Frank Saravalli yesterday saying one of the big pieces, like either Nylander or Matthews or Nyes. You know, he mentioned some other guys. I mean, Nyes has been banged up all year, playing hurt and trying to gut it out. It's one thing after another, it seems, with this team. And like, it's so many little things that the attention gets brought. the Nylander flipping the bird thing. Then the coach, the coach walks out with like stitches that you would find if you got hit over the head with a shovel and saying it's a gym accident, which, I assume that's what it was. And let's be clear here. That's what it was, according to the Leafs and Berube. But I mean, man, oh man. Big Rig, hey, if we talk about total disarray, how about the Canucks? So you got the two teams in the two largest markets in Canada that are floundering, likely won't make the playoffs. It's unbelievable. When you think about it, like Montreal won last night to get the 2 points. But before that win, Montreal was below the cut line, I believe. No, they still are in the wild card. So Montreal is the only other Canadian team right now besides the Oilers. Before it used to be Ottawa. Remember that, Duke? It was Ottawa for that stretch, was the only Canadian team above the cut line.
Right.
And now Ottawa's down, Toronto's down, Winnipeg's down. So you're looking in the Eastern Conference, the Montreal Canadiens in wild card 1. In the Western Conference, you got the Edmonton Oilers in Pacific 2.
Tough sledding right now, north of the 49th.
Right now, the people at Sportsnet for playoffs are going, oh boy. They are just, because the amount of revenue that is generated, especially in Toronto, I mean, that's one of the reasons that they, like even when Speck, you talked to him about it, and Sportsnet paying the billions of dollars. The only way, well, there's two ways they're going to recoup that. One is if the Leafs and more Canadian teams make the playoffs because the revenue is insane. And the other way is how it's going to happen, how they recoup all their losses, is when your cell phone goes up and your carriage rates go up. And that's how it's going to be. So sad, man. Hey, we'll get to some more of your texts as the morning goes on. 833-401-1440. When we come back, Russell Brown from the Draft Report. We'll talk the Senior Bowl coming up. We'll get his thoughts on Bill Belichick as well. That's straight ahead on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick and Mac the Intern on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We are also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
When picking a New Year's resolution, try to avoid things you have no influence over.
Like bringing home the cup? That would be awesome.
But completely outside your control. Instead, pick something you can control, like bringing home some Wilhock beef jerky.
That would also be awesome. But what if we brought the cup home to Canada and it was filled with Wilhock beef jerky?
Okay, I'll allow it.
Wilhock beef jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't win cups with salad.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Happy New Year. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for everything in 2025. With your help and your support, we fed almost 500 families. We donated to various charities in the Edmonton area, and we're going to do it again in 2026. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Business owners, if rising electricity costs are cutting into your profits, there's a smarter way forward. Right now, federal clean technology tax credits can cover 30 to over 50% of the cost of a commercial solar system, delivering an immediate return on your investment. And in Edmonton and Sturgeon County, the Commercial Clean Energy Improvement Program offers long-term financing for up to 20 years, making solar more affordable than ever. Lock in lower energy costs for decades and strengthen your bottom line. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com to get started.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Vinny and Don in Hockey are dedicated to skill development for all hockey players. If you know a student athlete interested in growing as a person and a player, register for a free shadow day. Beginner or experienced, this program develops a student athlete skill in a supportive environment. It's a great opportunity for prospective student athletes entering grades 3 through 12 to see what Vinny and Donnan have to offer. Visit vinnyridge.epsb.ca or donnan.epsb.ca for more info and to sign up.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Whoa, I gotta put some money on the game tonight. We hit our monthly budget. Whoa, how did you get in here? I'm you, the responsible you. We're right. We'll play another time. Sounds more like us.
If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 742 in Edmonton. Time to talk a little football, NFL style with the Senior Bowl and college and the draft report and everything like that. Bill Belichick, maybe even a bit with Russell Brown from the draft report. Good morning, Russell. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Hopefully you guys are staying warm up there. I know we're freezing down here in Michigan, so I hope you guys are doing all right up there.
I'll tell you what, Russell, it's actually pretty good up here. And I know that you guys have had a lot of snow in Toronto area and even on the eastern seaboard, but we're doing pretty good up here. It's actually not bad. It's quite pleasant for tail end of January, so pretty good.
Love to hear it.
Yeah. Hey, before we get to, NFL and the draft and the Senior Bowl and everything like that, I just wanted to get your thoughts on, being a football guy on yesterday with Bill Belichick and everything. I don't recall seeing this much reaction with some kind of an announcement regarding the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Just maybe your thoughts overall, Russell.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where everybody for sure thought he was a first ballot Hall of Famer just because of the resume. And I feel like the resume kind of speaks for itself, regardless of how maybe things ended in New England or whatever the case may have been. I mean, but this is a guy that has won 8 Super Bowls as an, from a assistant head coach to a head coach. We know what he did in New England with 6 Super Bowls, but I mean, that's the most of, most Super Bowl wins of all time. He's got 12 Super Bowl appearances. That's the most of all time. 9 as a head coach. He's got 31 playoff wins. There's just so many things where it was really eye-opening and wow, you guys not going in, huh? So I'm not sure what it ultimately came down to. What was the straw that kind of broke the back, I guess, or whatever, terminology you want to use. But I was really surprised by it. And I think it's unfortunate that was the decision, because I feel like when you give it your all, and I think this is a guy that did give it his all for however long, he was coaching from the 70s all the way through, the late, 2010s. But this is a guy that has given so much to the game of football, and everybody wanted to pick his brain and see the knowledge that he has in the game of football. And now all of a sudden he's not in the NFL, and it's like, well, we don't really care. Now we're not even honoring what he did in the NFL. So it's very odd, very weird. It's unfortunate, but I hope eventually down the road it doesn't turn into like one of those Pete Rose things where we're waiting forever. You know what I mean?
Oh man, what kind of fallout do you think, or will there be some in the 9 or 10 days when the people that voted and which way they went will be revealed?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm really curious how that's all going to look, and I think if this is a guy that's made any enemies over the course of his career and they're able to vote, I'm sure that'll be what we maybe see revealed in that 9 to 10 day span.
Mm-hmm. Russell Brown with us from the Draft Report. Hey, well, let's just get to the Senior Bowl coming up here in Alabama. Is there a certain storyline, a certain player, certain whatever that you are keeping your eyes on more? And I know, again, the weight and how people are assessed and assembled of how people put together their drafts don't really rely a whole lot on this in the sense that, it is the Senior Bowl. But is there something top of mind that you're really looking forward to here coming up?
Yeah, I think, for me, it's always just an event for the top prospects to go out and not just get themselves evaluated, but show what they do during practice, right? And show those practice habits. And this is an event that I've been able to, been fortunate to go to since 2017. And even though this year I'm not down there, this is one of those events where I'm still paying attention from afar. And that's where I'm watching everything kind of transpire here, from watching the practice tape and watching the practices live and getting some of the insight from reaching out to folks. And, when I watch these players, these are opportunities for them to put themselves in that first round conversation. It doesn't always happen, but they could put themselves in that top 50 conversation. You could put yourself in the top 75, top 100. And that's where you're still getting really good football players. Even as you get to the meat potatoes of the draft, as we get into that second, third, and fourth round of the draft, it's always my favorite time of the draft. But that's what I love about this process. And you get to see those practice habits. And when you are down there, you get to interact with those players and see how they carry themselves. And there's always so much that you learn about players. And, just looking at practice yesterday, you look at Lee Hunter, the nose tackle from Texas Tech. We saw what he did during the college football playoffs and the way he kind of ended the season for the Red Raiders. Now you watch him down here at 6'3.5", 320 pounds, and he looks unblockable. He looks like the best player on the field. And I just wonder, is this a guy that's going to end up going a lot sooner than we all thought as we look at mock drafts, in October and November? Now we're looking at this, and as we get closer, I think he's going to interview really well. And he's obviously practicing really well, and he's performing well right now here at a very high level.
Russell Brown from the Draft Report, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. Are you the kind of guy, Russell, when you got, eyes on the game, boots on the ground, in the sense that you are looking forward to position by position matchups, like, for instance, a wide receiver on a corner or, an offensive lineman on a rusher? What are you looking for when you're trying to evaluate here?
Yeah. So for me, like every first day that I'm down there, and even if I'm not, and I'm just starting on practice tape, like I did earlier this morning, the first thing I go to every single time, and it's just a tradition for me. I'm a trench guy at heart. I love offensive line versus defensive line. Give me those one-on-one situations. Let me get the big bodies going. Let me see what they are doing. And I felt like there was a lot of good that happened yesterday in those O-line and D-line drills. I mentioned Lee Hunter. You look at Penn State defensive tackle Zane Durant. He showed a bunch of explosiveness yesterday, and there's a lot to be, desired there with what he's able to do. But at the same time, he's just under 6'1". He's only about 290 pounds. So you wonder, what's he going to be? Is he going to be more of like that odd front defender for like a 4-eye, a 3-tech? Does he bump inside a little bit as a 2-guy? What's that going to look like for him as I kind of go into coach speak there? But then, you go a little bit further. I thought, offensive lineman for Miami, Florida, James Brockermeyer, I know he's a little bit undersized, but I felt like he played really well and he sustained blocks, consistently, and he showed some explosiveness. One of my favorite players, going into this Senior Bowl was Jude Bowery, offensive tackle from Boston College, 6'5", 315 pounds. I thought he looked really well, through some of the tape that I've seen up to this point, with shorter arms, but there's a lot to be desired there. And obviously the viral play yesterday was Derek Moore from Michigan blowing up Markel Bell from Miami, Florida, who is a massive human being at 6'8", 360 pounds. So for Derek Moore to blow him up, with a smaller frame, it was great to see. But that's how my process starts. I start in the trenches, and then we kind of go into wide receivers and corners, and we just look at those different matchups and see how it's going to translate for them when they get in those one-on-one situations in the NFL.
Right. Russell Brown with us on Sports 1440. The GM of our football team up here, the Edmonton Elks, used to play at USC. Ed Hervey's his name. So I was kind of watching a few USC games. We watch them and text each other. And one of the players that was on USC is Jacoby Lane, that wide receiver. What do you make of his kind of prospects and his talent level at this stage, and maybe his future, and what he needs to work on to take it to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at a guy that is much bigger, than I think when you see him on film and on TV, you're like, oh yeah, I mean, he's a bigger receiver, but he is just more well built than I think maybe given credit for at 6'4", 195 pounds. But with Jacoby, what I like about him is how he goes up and gets the football. He will go up and snatch it and high point the football. And he's not always going to beat press man, and he's not going to be the shiftiest route runner in the world. But I think he can wiggle to his game. I think he's going to win and vertically down the field with an offense. And if he can get a quarterback in the NFL that can get him the football consistently down the field, I think he's going to make some big plays. But I also think in those shorter, intermediate areas of the field, he can win because he is a bigger body and he's got that catch radius. And I think he's going to be able to withstand some of the contact that he'll see, over the middle of the field. So I think when you think of the dagger concept, that's a big staple in the Lions offense with that big route. That'd be a great route for him to run. And I think that's a great place for him to really get his career going at the middle of the field, building that rapport with the quarterback. And then, of course, as you take those occasional shots. So I think he's definitely going to have a market as a wide receiver 2 or 3. The potential to develop into a wide receiver 1 is certainly there. But I think when you look at, top 50, top 60, 65 players in this draft, I think Jacoby Lane certainly fits there just because of his skill set.
Russell Brown from the Draft Report with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. I found it a comical, just a note regarding the draft, regarding Vandy quarterback Diego Pavia, how his height is such a big deal. And I guess when you don't have the height, I guess it is a big deal. What did you make of that, where he's listed in, I guess, as a 6-footer, but he's not really close to that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I will say, some of the antics really, and maybe this is just me getting older or something. Some of the antics that he does just really, it really grinds my gears. And for a guy that's 5'9", he sure walks like he's much bigger than that. But I mean, he is a very captivating player, and I get it. Some of me, I kind of feel like it's kind of like a gimmick. You know what I mean? Like, he's just wanting to play the bad guy a little bit, like an old Bret Hart heel or something in WWF. But I think it's one of those things where this is a guy that, if he's given an opportunity, he might be able to, really surprise you, kind of like Spencer Rattler did a few years ago coming out of South Carolina, and some of the problems that he had off the field with the Netflix stuff and things like that from back in the day. So maybe Diego can kind of go out and prove himself and show to teams that, hey, this was, the college limelight, but I'm ready and I'm serious about being an NFL quarterback, because it is a job. You got to carry yourself and be professional all the time. And you've got to be ready for that limelight. And some of those guys aren't ready for it.
Yeah, no kidding. I just thought it was kind of humorous how the whole storyline played out with him. You mentioned Lee Hunter at a Texas Tech. Are there some quarterbacks out there that you're looking forward to see a little bit more than others? And I'm thinking of maybe a smaller school, and again, like Cole Payton out of North Dakota State. Does that come to mind? And I think he had a pretty decent day yesterday too.
Yeah, no, I think he did have a pretty decent day, and he's a guy that I know some people think, Cole Payton is certainly better than Diego Pava. But at 6'2", 230, there's a lot to like with Cole Payton and that pro system offense that they run at North Dakota State. I'm really excited to see Garrett Nussmeier through the week. I think this is a guy that's always had the tools at LSU, and at 6'1", 202, I know he's a bigger name quarterback, but he didn't necessarily have the year that many of us had expected. But there's a lot of tools there and a lot of things to work with. So I'll be really curious. And I was a little impressed with Luke Altmaier from Illinois. I thought he did a really good job. And I think a team that maybe, runs like a West Coast scheme or something like that, I think they would be really intrigued with him. So teams that are looking for, QB2s and QB3s, I think you can find them in this draft, specifically at the Senior Bowl. And again, these guys are, all they ever need is an opportunity.
Yeah. Game on Saturday in Mobile. Anything I'm missing here, Russell, that top of mind for you that you just want to let our listeners know as we close things up here?
I felt like the wide receivers on the first day at the Senior Bowl, they were somewhat underwhelming. I didn't feel like there was a ton of guys that won. I know we talked a little bit about Jacoby Lane. I thought he did all right, but some of these other guys, Lewis Bond from Boston College, Aaron Anderson from LSU, as I look at the player list, just kind of going down, Ted Hurst, he had a big catch. And I thought he flashed quite a bit, but I feel like the wide receivers, as they move along, and the first day is always tough because there's that learning curve. They're learning the verbiage and getting comfortable. It's a big moment for them. So I get it. But I'll be curious how these wide receivers kind of respond from somewhat of a lackluster first day overall.
Russell, great insight. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the game on Saturday. And then, the Super Bowl to follow. Thanks for coming on. Take care, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Appreciate it.
It's Russell Brown from the Draft Report. The game goes in Mobile, Alabama on Saturday. What time is the game? 1:30 Central, 2:30 Eastern, so 12:30 our time. And it'll be on the NFL Network, just so you know. Top of the hour, we got Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sean Cunningham and Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. Hey, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
10-game slate in the NHL last night, including Toronto losing to Buffalo 7-4 for their fifth consecutive loss. Winnipeg getting past the Devils 4-3. Cole Caulfield's goal streak hitting 6 games at the half, beat Vegas 3-2 in overtime. Wild top Chicago 4-3 to shootout, and Macklin celebrating 4 points in his hometown as the Sharks win in Vancouver 5-2. Off the ice this morning, Detroit Red Wings extending defenseman Ben Sherratt on a 3-year deal that will pay him an AAV of $3.85 million. And last night, the Devils trading Andre Palat to the Islanders in exchange for Maxim Siplikov, a third-round pick this summer and a sixth-rounder in 2027. The two-time Cup winner Palat has 10 points in 51 games this season. In the association, 7 games total, including the Knicks beating the Kings 103-87. Denver losing to Detroit 109-107. And the Thunder topped the Pelicans 104-95 on the back of 29 points from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Draw 13 of the Scotties Tournament Hearts in Mississauga is underway this morning. BC taking on Nova Scotia. Kerry Anderson and Team Canada are playing the Northwest Territories. Yukon up against Saskatchewan. And the feature matchup, Quebec up against Ontario. Finally, Australian Open hitting the home stretch quarterfinal action overnight. Saw world number 2 Jannik Sinner beat Ben Shelton. Novak Djokovic defeated Musetti. Jessica Pegula on the women's side got past Anisimova in 3 sets. And in women's doubles, Canadian Gabby Dabrowski and her partner Luisa Stefani pick up the win to advance through to the semis. Coming up in hour 2 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector as well as Colin Stevenson from Newsday covering the New York Rangers. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
I skipped breakfast this morning. Stay out of my way.
Don't threaten me with your bad choices.
No worries. A booster bar from Booster Juice will fix me.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, because they're new. Snack-sized bars packed with seeds, pecans, gluten-free oats, all sorts of good stuff.
That sounds lovely, actually.
2 different flavors to try, too. Coconut pecan booster bars and harvest booster bars. Want to skip breakfast with me?
I take it back. You make good choices.
Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado,
There's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Equipment Auction is this Friday at 9 a.m. featuring graders, forklifts, wheel loaders, man lifts, mini excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, plus commercial trailers and sea cans. Info at maauctions.com.
Start your day with a blast of sports. Kevin Karius, along with Brandon Douglas, brings the fire, the fun, and the fearless takes. Weekdays, 7 to 11. Text Kevin, 883-401-1440. Mornings with Sports 1440.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Industrial Auctions are this Thursday and Friday. These major events include multiple lanes selling a large section of multi-purpose trucks, equipment, and commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
Program 802 in Edmonton. Time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Mike and the crew would like to really thank you for the support you gave them in 2025. Wish you a great 2026 as well. Together, we fed almost 500 families, and we're going to do it again. It'll be in November, sometime around Christmas, again, just like we did last year. Thank you from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC as we welcome in Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet and Specs Cabinet Making. Good morning, Spec.
Specs cabinets. I like that. Yeah.
You know, cabinet makers they're talented, man. You got to be precise, Spec.
Oh, forget it. Like, don't ever say in the same breath, put together some IKEA cabinet and being a cabinet maker. It's not the same thing, buddy.
Yeah. It's precise cutting and measuring. And
yeah, no. I mean, I'm not a cabinet maker, and I never would claim to be. I've hung some cabinets before, but in a garage where no one's looking.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, right? That's the whole thing. Anyway, the shelving and everything that guys put in a garage, for the most part, they're not anything that's remotely close to what you would see in a house.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Sure not. But
having said that, when you see those custom garage packages now with all the steel and shiny stuff, I mean, that's pretty impressive, man.
Guys spend more in their house or their garage than they spend on their kitchen now.
Wow.
I'm the guy who, when the neighbors put a new kitchen in, I say, "What are you doing with those old cabinets?" And they end up in my garage. That's who I am. They go, "Great, I didn't feel like taking them to the dump anyway. I'll just give them the Spec."
Yeah, look at Rashog's garage. He's got the simulator in there and everything.
Oh yeah, it's like the PGA Tour in his garage. Of course, you can't park a vehicle in there.
It's kind of sad, like, you know. Yeah, I understand, you know, the pros and cons of it, but man, when she's 40 below, I'd rather like to have that car in there, truck in there.
You wouldn't mind having your truck in the garage. I'm hearing you. So
yeah,
you know what? Rashog never did do anything that made sense to me. So we're
you got that right. Here. Yeah, not very sharp at all. How was your day off yesterday? Little
day off. Never mind. I wrote a good piece on Matthias Ekholm. Come on, get your reading in before the show.
Okay,
buddy.
well, you know what? I never did because I thought you were taking the day off. I never looked.
No days off for the hardworking local scribe.
Wow.
I tell you what.
So you got all your quotes from Monday night, and you had enough.
I didn't use that many quotes. Like it's when you look at the group of, listen, Sweden pumps out defensemen, right? That's their best export. And there's lots of good ones, and it's a good team. Yesterday, Jonas Brodin is hurt, so they named Hampus Lindholm as to join the group of 8 defensemen that are going to Milan. And, we didn't expect them to name Matthias Ekholm, and they did not name Matthias Ekholm. Yeah. But when you look at how he's playing, I mean, he's since November 1st, he's plus 24. Hampus Lindholm's minus 10.
Yeah.
Right? Matthias Ekholm is not only an excellent defender, as we know, he's also 5th among Swedish defensemen in scoring in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not telling you he's the number 1 defenseman. I'm not telling you he's a shoe-in for sure right away, but they've picked 9 guys, and they still haven't called his name yet. That part I just don't get. Don't tell me he's outside the top 10 in Swedish defensemen in the NHL. Right?
Yeah.
How many of those guys have played 2 Stanley Cups in 8 rounds in the last 2 years, and as a first pairing defenseman, right? None of them except for Matthias Ekholm. I guess Gustav Forsling has played a lot for Florida, but I just don't get it. I don't see how Sweden is so good that Matthias Ekholm can't make that team. It doesn't make sense to me.
So when you're doing some research for the piece, and again, Spec, I apologize because normally I read it.
Don't worry about it.
I got to take a day off too from you too.
I hear you.
Every day. So but I heard some rumblings again yesterday because Chris Johnston had it yesterday morning. We announced it on the program, and then you hear the rumbling. So there was something that happened with Matthias Ekholm, possibly. I don't know this for sure, and maybe you did with your research, with just the GM and the coach. They might not have been all on the same page. Was there anything that you got?
Coach doesn't like him, right? Okay. I wrote today, and I met Sam Halam. He's a smart, good guy. You love the guy.
Yeah.
And he has a pretty good, I had a chance to have dinner with him and some people in New York earlier this year, got to know him a little bit. He's the kind of guy that you'd think you'd see eye to eye with. Like I certainly do. We were talking about players. We're chatting hockey. He's a really sharp guy. But for whatever reason, I guess he doesn't think Matthias Ekholm can help him. And, that's kind of where it falls off. I just don't get it. I guess he thinks he's too slow or something. He must think he's too old at 35. But, Matthias Ekholm is the best plus minus in the league right now among Swedish defensemen for this season, right? He's 5th in scoring. So, he's playing huge minutes on a really good team. He's not sitting down in some team where nothing matters, right? He survives in a Canadian city where we break down every goal against here.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes out looking, generally speaking, real good. So I like Sam. I like Matthias Ekholm. I know them both a little bit. I'm not telling you we're close buddy friends with any of them, but they seem to me to be 2 guys that get along real good. But for some reason, they don't.
I can tell you every Oiler fan in the last several weeks when the team was announced to yesterday, every Oiler fan are going, this is good for us. They're happy that he didn't get named.
Yep.
Selfishly.
Oh, selfishly for sure. The Oilers are a lot better served with Matthias Ekholm and his wife Ida and the kids going down to Turks and Caicos for 10 days than him taking off to Milan and playing a whole bunch of hockey. There's no arguing that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I kind of feel for the guy. He's 35 years old. This is it for him.
Yeah.
If he can't make that Olympic team at 35, he ain't making it at 39. So he's never played in the Olympics, and it looks like he never will play in Olympics. And that's probably a little disappointing for him. I think he, at some point in his career, I think we've all watched Matthias Ekholm play the whole time here, whether it was down in Nashville or up in Edmonton. At some point in his career, he's an Olympic level defenseman. And I have a hard time having someone tell me he's not.
Mm-hmm. Mark Spector with us on Sports 1440. So let's maybe use that same analogy, if it's maybe not the best word, with Zach Hyman.
Yeah.
So right now, Zach Hyman's the best forward going that's not on the Olympic team. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, statistically, goal scoring, points a right winger, so's Hyman, for sure. You've got to absolutely, like, I think I'd like to say this to you: if he doesn't wreck his wrist in the playoffs last year, he's on the team already, right?
He might have the league leading goals.
Yeah. So, I don't see, like, on a team that when they pick Team Canada, it's always easy to pick you're picking McDavid, you're picking McKinnon, you're picking a bunch of guys that are, the top skilled guys in the league. Celebrini makes the team, and all these guys with tons of skill and goal scoring ability, for sure. The trick is always to find a way to inject some grit and some hard to play against, and some, who's going to go get the puck out of the corner. Like, and they've often failed at that. They've often picked the wrong guy, whether, who's the Philadelphia Flyers guy they picked back in the 80s instead of Messi, Rob Zaminer, right?
Zaminer for Tampa, 98.
They're always trying to find, whether it's a Cirelli or whether it's a Zaminer, or they're always trying to find the right guy that brings all the hard elements of Canadian hockey and can still play at that level. Well, Zach Hyman's that guy, right? Zach Hyman leads the playoffs in hits. Zach Hyman wins his puck battles way more than he loses. Zach Hyman gets into the blue ice and is a pain in the rear end in front of the net, and nobody can move him. Oh, and he's also a 50-goal scorer. Like, to me, Zach Hyman embodies exactly what they're always looking for on Team Canada, and they're looking right at him right now. And here's another guy. If he hasn't played his way onto this team, it better be a damn good team.
And again, we're talking about Braden Point and his possibility, his ability to play. We would love nothing as Canadians. Maybe, as I've told you many times, Spec. I mean, Zach Hyman's been my favorite Oiler since he's gotten here for many reasons. But for some reason, I don't know why. I just feel that they're leaning towards, and this is if Point can't go, that they're leaning towards Sam Bennett. I don't know why I feel that. But
well, Sam Bennett's. You're not going to get me to say anything bad about Sam Bennett. He also plays a hard game, and he's also, don't you have to tell Oiler fans how effective Sam Bennett is? He won the Conn Smythe against you last year. So, if it has to be either or, I can't believe Sam Bennett also doesn't make that team off the top. Like, there's another guy. All the elements of Canadian hockey, plus he puts it in the net regularly. So I like top line players that play like Hyman and Bennett. I don't need, rather than fourth line guys, that's all they bring. I like a top line guy who plays hard, who hits you, who steals pucks, who's hard to play against, and also puts in 25, 30, 40 goals. That's the best player for me.
Yeah. Mark Spector with us on Sports 1440. We never touched on the Brian Rust trade off the top of the show. Brian Rust suspension, off the top of the show. I don't know. I just thought it was a little high at 3. I don't know. Where are you at with this one?
That's a real dangerous play. Picked the guy's head coming through the slot. Didn't seem to take any evasive action, didn't hit the body in any way. I hate that hit. I'm not calling Brian Rust a bad guy. He's got no priors. It happens fast. He didn't make the right decision on how to make that play because there's a second left in the game. All he's thinking is, I got to get this guy out of my slot. They're going to tie the game. I understand how difficult it is, but that's one of the worst hits in hockey right there. So 3 games, no problem for me.
I thought it was high. I thought it was too high. 3 games.
Yeah. Whatever. Like, that could cost Brock Besser 2 months of hockey, that hit. So I don't like that hit, Kev. When you pick a head like that, you got to be more responsible for your hit. You got to be a smarter player than Brian Rust was in that moment.
San Jose here tomorrow night, Spec. Celebrini had 4 points last night again in Vancouver.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun to watch this guy in person.
Oh boy. And they just stomped Vancouver. Yeah. Poor Vancouver, they got nothing. So, hey, this is fun. Like we talked yesterday about Anaheim. This is way more fun than stomping through Anaheim and San Jose and beating them 6-1 every night like it's been for the last 4 years. Now Anaheim comes in and it's a fun game. And sure, is it going to be 7-4 every time? I hope so. I'll take a 6-5, 7-4 game. And then in comes San Jose, and they're good, and they can score, man. And they can beat you now. Like, the Oilers have to pay attention when San Jose comes in. And I haven't said that for 5 years. So this is good. Who doesn't want to see Celebrini tomorrow? Who doesn't want to see a bunch of goals go in? Who doesn't want to watch a young, exciting Sharks team that's on the come, man? They're going to be a pain in the Oilers' rear end now for the foreseeable future, I would say.
Just like Anaheim, yeah.
Just like Anaheim, both those teams. So make that California trip a lot more fun.
Can you believe the soap opera in Toronto, Spec, right now? You watch a little of the game last night?
I didn't know. I had an appointment last night. I didn't see it, but I did watch the highlights this morning and heard all the talking heads and read Steve Simmons, Toronto Sun. It's over out there. According to all those guys, the season's done.
Yeah, it's all over.
Hey, listen, look, I told you, I shouldn't say I told you. It's been very evident since the season started. Like, who's their best defenseman? It's Morgan Riley. He's a number 3.
Yeah.
Right? Now they're telling you McCabe might be their best defenseman. He's a number 4. He's not a top pairing defenseman, McCabe. Either is Riley. So I'm starting my season. I don't have a top pairing defenseman. Okay. Do I have a number 1 goalie? Well, Stolarz has never been one in his life, and he's hurt again all year. And Woll has never been a number 1 goalie. He came out of nowhere. He had a pretty decent season last year. He's not a number 1 goalie. So here's a team without a top pairing defenseman on their roster and without a number 1 goalie on their roster. How are they supposed to win? Right? How are you going to win? Playing a backup every night and rolling out 4 bottom 4 defensemen or 6 bottom 4 defensemen. How are you going to win? So I'm not the least bit surprised that the Leafs are having a hard time making the playoffs. I know they're surprised in Toronto. Not the least bit surprised.
We've gone over our 30-second allotment to talk about the Leafs here, Spec. So we got to get.
I think we get longer when we're talking about how bad they are, though, don't we?
Yeah. Thanks, Kyle. We'll see you down at the rink. Take care, man.
All right, Kev.
Mark Spector, Rogers Sportsnet on the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This truck's for you. When we come back, Colin Stevenson from Newsday covers the New York Rangers. They've been a little active on the trade department, and we'll see what they're doing here as the deadline approaches. That's coming up right after the break. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick, Mac the intern, and we are on Sports 1440 AM radio, also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
The future of female hockey is here. It's season 2 of the Female Super League, the first ever female-only independent hockey division in Western Canada, with teams from British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Featuring 16U, 14U, and 12U divisions, the FSL brings showcase weekends packed with thrilling games, and our 14U and 16U have been pioneering the advanced body-checking rule, empowering young players. The Female Super League, where the best in female hockey takes center ice. Details at femalesuperleague.com.
Vinny and Don in Hockey are dedicated to skill development for all hockey players. If you know a student athlete interested in growing as a person and a player, register for a free shadow day. Beginner or experienced, this program develops a student athlete skill in a supportive environment. It's a great opportunity for prospective student athletes entering grades 3 through 12 to see what Vinny and Donnan have to offer. Visit vinnyridge.epsb.ca or donnan.epsb.ca for more info and to sign up.
Smart, connected, community driven. Jason Greger sets the standard for sports talk in Edmonton. Join the conversation on Sports 1440. Text Greger 833-401-1440. Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
Invest for today and tomorrow. Vision Credit Union makes it simple with 2 RRSP options
to fit your goals. Choose a secure term deposit RRSP with guaranteed returns or a mutual fund RRSP offering higher growth potential with exciting opportunities. With an RRSP, you'll save on your income tax, grow your investments tax-free, and get closer to your dreams, whether it's retirement or your first home. The deadline to qualify for 2025 tax deductions is March 2nd. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Loca Quality Market. Your next dinner is ready with Loca Quality Market's gourmet meals. Choose from over 200 chef-proposed meals. Shop local at loca.ca.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:21 in Edmonton, and time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, the plumber to call when the toilet mysteriously breaks after your jalapeno pepper popper fueled game night with the fellas. That's mrrooter.ca, as we welcome in Colin Stevenson from Newsday, covers the New York Rangers. Morning, Colin. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, sure. Anytime. Love to talk about this team that we're shoulder in.
Yeah, there's lots to talk about, and actually some local angles for us out here in Edmonton. A local product from Irma, Carson Soucy, gets traded in a very rare Rangers Islanders trade, Colin.
Yeah, very very rare. I think this was the fourth all time, and the first two were the first season of the Islanders, 1972. So yeah, it's not normal. I remember, Mike Milbury tried to make a trade back in, I guess it was the early 2000s or the late 1999, I guess. And that didn't come off. They tried to trade them to Zygmunt Palffy, which would have been a nightmare, trading your best player to the arch rivals. But that didn't come off, and so this was, this is an absolute rarity. But it's not a huge deal. And listen, the Rangers did not only did the Islanders a favor, but they did Carson Soucy a favor. His wife just delivered their third child like less than 2 weeks ago. So. This way, you trade him to the Islanders, and you don't have to ship him out of town. He can actually not have to move out of his house and just commute to Long Island. So, a good thing that they did for Carson.
So, Colin, how busy is Chris Drury and the Rangers? How busy are they going to be here in the next few days? And then we've got the roster freeze. What's it going to be like? How are they going to navigate this year?
Well, your guess would be as good as mine, but I think that I expect them to be busy. They told Artemi Panarin that they will trade him, and they're not going to re-sign him. His contract is expiring, and they're going to work with him. He's got a no-move clause, so they're going to work with him and try and find a place where he would be okay going to, and they're going to trade him there. And then there's been lots of talk about trading Vincent Trocheck, which is a guy I think you'd absolutely want to keep, but also a guy who would probably bring back a significant return that would make you want to do that. And then there's other guys, everybody who's got in the last year of their contract, but also even some younger guys. Even if they could move a guy like Alexis Lafreniere, let's say, I think if they could get back a return that they thought was worth it, I'm sure they'd move him. if they could get back a decent return for a guy like Braden Schneider. I think, you'd have to consider moving him too, even though he's a 24-year-old guy. Ordinarily, you wouldn't want to trade two 24-year-old guys if you're retooling. But I think they have to be open and they have to listen on everybody.
Colin Stevenson from Newsday, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. As a just overall covering this team a long time, what's it been like this year? The soap opera that is the New York Rangers, on and off the ice.
For me, it's been a surprise. I think last year was a tough year. What they went through last year, that was a bigger soap opera, right? Because they went into last year coming off having been in the Eastern Conference Finals and lost to the Panthers, who went on to win the Cup. And so you felt like they were in a good place, but they did have some cap issues to clear up, and it just didn't go well from day one. With getting rid of Barclay Goodrow and trying to get rid of Jacob Trouba and being unable to do that in the summer, and then not being able to sign any significant free agents and all that kind of stuff. And the locker room just was an uncomfortable place to be. Guys were not happy, and the team ultimately reflected that and didn't play well, and they didn't get a single break all year. I mean, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, and so last year was really bad. This year has just been sort of fascinating. I really did expect that they would have a bounce back, under Mike Sullivan, the new coach. This was the coach that Chris Drury wanted all along. And I expected that they would have a bounce back, and they haven't. And so, we are where we are. I think everybody else in the East is in a race, and I think the Rangers are out of it. And now they're selling, which is, it's fine. It's what they have to do. It just seems like, after having gone through a rebuild, just in 2018, it just seems a little soon for another one.
Colin Stevenson with us on Sports 1440. I wanted to bring up another local product. Matthew Robertson got the overtime winner the other night. How's his season going, Colin?
Yeah, if you want to look for bright spots, he's been one of them for sure. I've spent a lot of time talking to him. It's interesting. He spent so many years in the minor leagues. High draft pick, second round pick. A lot was expected from him, and it never materialized. And we kept wondering, where is this guy? When is he coming? And he never got in. Got in the last two games of last season. Made the team this year as a seventh defenseman, and obviously has worked his way up to now where he's in the top four on defense. I asked him after that game. I said, have you ever scored? I imagine that's your first overtime game winner, and he said absolutely. That he doesn't think he's ever scored one ever at any level. Not only never in the minors, and probably never in juniors or anything else like that. So I mean, he's a fun guy because he's so appreciative of just being here. Like you walk and he looks, his eyes are bright, and it's almost like he still almost doesn't believe that he's here. And it's really refreshing. And in a season where so much has not gone well for them, this is one thing, where a guy who's paid more than his dues is finally doing well, and I think pretty much everybody's happy for him.
Yeah, I can tell you, Colin, after interviewing him and seeing him many times with the Oil Kings, golf tournaments too in the summer, just a great guy, exceptional guy, community minded, orientated, and I hope that things progress for him in New York with the Blue Shirts for sure. Another local guy, but a young guy that's had to call up in Gabriel Perreault. What have you seen from him? What are you looking for him for the remainder of the season, and what kind of future do you think this guy has?
So, Gabe was a guy I think, didn't pop right away. Like when he came up, I was kind of looking at him like, yeah, okay, well, what's the allure here? What am I supposed to be seeing? But lately, he's really taken off. I mean, I don't know if he's learning on the fly, and now he's playing on the top line with JT Miller and Mika Zibanejad, and he's really fit in very well with them, and they've been very complimentary of him. He made a pass last game end of last season when he he joined the team from Boston College, and didn't see in his first call up this season. But he's showing it now, and he's really the one. Well, I shouldn't say the one, but he's really the young guy that has the most potential in their whole organization. And their future kind of rides on this guy. They have to. He's not going to be enough. They're going to have to go out and get some other young guys to help him. But I mean, this is a guy that we're finally starting to see what he can be. And no, he's not he's not Connor Bedard, and he's not Macklin Celebrini. But he's going to be a good player for them, and they just need to go out and get some more good players now.
When the Oilers played in New York early on in the year, the fourth line for the Rangers was dynamite. I mean, Karius and Rempe, and I think it was Brzezinski back then. How's Rempe doing?
Probably Edstrom.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Edstrom. Yeah, you're right. Correct, Edstrom. Yeah.
Edstrom is injured. He's out long term. I saw him with a boot on his leg, so I don't know what the story is there. They say that he's not done for the season, so we'll see him back again. Rempe had a good game the other night, actually. So he got to a fight with Ryan Reeves back in October when the Sharks were in town. Pretty good fight, I thought, but he broke his thumb. His left thumb in the fight, and so he was actually kind of stunned for him because the Rangers were leaving on their Western Canada trip the next day, and he was looking forward to going back home to Calgary and didn't get a chance because he had to stay home. So he's been back and he's been in the lineup, but he's shared that the thumb hasn't really fully healed and he still can't do some things. He certainly can't fight. But beyond that, I mean, there's other things that he can't do. And so they sat him out for, I think it was 6 games. Just got back in the last game. And he looked pretty active and looked pretty good. I thought, it was the best game I've seen him play in a while, certainly since he's come back. The jury's still out on him, obviously. I mean, he needs to be able to play, and it's the injury has taken that away from him. But he needs to be able to play on a regular basis and be able to run around and hit people. And he does need to be able to fight once in a while. And if he can't do those things, then he's just a 6'8.5" guy that has a great personality who isn't going to really help the team much. So he needs to get healthy, and he needs to be able to play and do the things that they believe he can do.
Colin Stevenson with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. Igor Shesterkin, Colin, what are we looking at for his possible return to the lineup?
Well, so he and Adam Fox are both on the injured reserve, and they're both skating, although they're not skating with the team yet. So they are on track to return soon. I mean, the next thing we're waiting for is for them to join practice. Skate with Fox skating with a non-contact jersey or whatever. So that's coming. I mean, that'll happen. I would imagine it'll happen that they'll rejoin practice probably here before the Olympic break. My question would be, if you are the Rangers and if you're in the situation that they're in, I don't know that you want to rush these guys, right? Because the more ping pong balls you get in that draft, is the better for you. So if I'm them, I don't rush these guys. Obviously, when they're healthy, they're going to play, and I think, certainly after the break, and I would anticipate that they'll rejoin the team for practice before the break. Whether they actually get in, whether Shesterkin and or Fox gets into a game before the Olympic break, I think is probably doubtful. But if they come back, at least it would be some good news and something positive for a team that really needs every positive it can get right now.
No kidding. You mentioned Braden Schneider, a possible trade chip. A demand would be high for him again, as you said, just a 24-year-old guy. But most of the eyeballs would be on Panarin, who you mentioned already, Colin. Is there a landing spot that he would prefer when he would waive his no movement, or is there a team that you think is a better fit for him?
Well, he hasn't identified those spots for me or for anyone else, as far as I'm aware. But I got to think Florida would be a great spot for him. He's very close with Sergei Bobrovsky, as you know, and obviously they've won the last 2 times. So I mean, if he wanted to go into a situation where to have a chance to win, that would be a good place. I mean, I've been speculation about Colorado. Who wouldn't want to go there right now? So I mean, there was speculation early on about possibly Tampa. I haven't seen that come up lately. I got my eye on Florida, but I don't know. They don't have any cap space, so I mean, they'd have to get really super creative to try and make that happen. But that would be my guess. I was wondering about Minnesota, but I don't know that they have a need for him necessarily. Yeah. But he's close with Kaprizov as well. So but the list of teams where he would probably want to go is probably pretty short.
Yeah. One last one, just Islanders and Rangers tonight on the Isle. What do you make of this one?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I'm curious as to whether the Rangers will score a goal. They've been shut out by the Islanders in both meetings so far. They got pummeled in the first one 5-0. The last one on Long Island played much better. It was a 1-0 game. One plus the empty netter, so 2-0. So that they can start by scoring a goal improvement over the first 2 games. But no, when I think of the Islanders, I think of a team. The Rangers, of course, announced that they're going into this retool, which implies that it's not going to be a long process for them to, not a full rebuild, but it's just sort of a cleanup and renovation project. And I look at the Islanders as a team that has retooled effectively. I mean, they missed the playoffs last year as well, but they've bounced back. Now, a lot of that has to do with the fact that they got lucky and they won the number 1 pick overall, got Matthew Schaefer. But they did a couple other things too that I think helped them turn it around relatively quickly. And I think I'm looking at it going into it. How ironic is it for the Rangers to be looking at their greatest rivals and sort of saying, that's who we want to be next year.
No goals in 2 games, Colin. This screams like a press box pool tonight, doesn't it?
Oh, we got enough of those going on.
Good stuff. Thanks, Colin. Enjoy the game tonight, and I'm sure we'll talk as the season progresses. Take care, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
That's Colin Stevenson from Newsday, covers the Rangers, does a great job of it. Man, oh, man, you think about it, again, the trade chips that they have available in Panarin, Trocheck even. I don't know if anyone's sniffing around Lafreniere just because of the length of the contract and what he does or can do. But Braden Schneider, my goodness, man, and he's having an off year, but he's just 24 years old. Would be you're getting a fair bit. That would be maybe a trade and sign because I think he is. What is he next year? Just a straight UFA or next year? Braden Schneider is an RFA, and he's a UFA in 2 years. So, but $2.2 million. That's decent for your cap for the remainder of this year. Maybe he is a rental. I don't know. Every team's different the way they look at things. And again, with the trade deadline, and not only the trade deadline, but the roster freeze coming up here in a little over a week has so many things and implications that we have to look at moving forward. And that's the headliner of the day, Colin Stevenson from Newsday, brought to you by Mr. Reuter Plumbing, the true goat of local plumbing. That's mrreuter.ca. When we come back, we'll get to more of your texts, 833-401-1440. David Schlemko, probably on his way to the Palatial Studios here at West Edmonton Mall. We'll be with him at 9 o'clock for Cougar Paint and Collision. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick, and Mac the Intern on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
When the ground freezes, you wonder how anything can get done. And instead of staying outside in temperatures that would make a polar bear cry, you head inside where it's toasty and warm. But that's not what GS Construction does. Because while the ground freezes above, we plan below, rebuilding and revitalizing the systems that keep our communities working year after year. Now, don't worry. GS Construction promises to do everything safely and efficiently, and we'll wear our extra warm clothing outside. For more on what we do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
From the first face-off to the final whistle, Sports 1440 is your home for hockey talk. With live coverage, expert analysis, and pre- and post-game shows. We bring you closer to the game. Tune in 24/7, only on Sports 1440, Edmonton's sports station.
Wing,
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered. With half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold pint of Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West End and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59.9. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Whoa, I gotta put some money on the game tonight. We hit our monthly budget. Whoa, how did you get in here? I'm you, the responsible you. We're right. We'll play another time. Sounds more like us.
If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
Get ready.
We're going to make you an offer you can't refuse.
Shoresy's back, and it's only on Crave.
We need total buy-in from every guy in this room.
The Smash Hit Series returns for a brand new season.
We're going to be playing the EU All-Stars.
Shoresy is facing his toughest competition yet.
This EU team is spectacular.
Yeah, I'm not scared of them.
Hear that, Shoresy?
Let's make sure they never forget who we are.
Shoresy, new season. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Your game, your station. Sports 1440.
And watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 8:42 in Edmonton on a Wednesday. And pretty nice weather. Again, we were talking about the weather off the top of the show in the City of Champions. It's looking pretty decent today, maybe a high of -5 or so. We're in positive territory right through for the next, a week or so. So pretty decent temperatures here in Edmonton. I think we should probably give away another table for 6 at First Round. Our listeners have been so great this morning. Why wouldn't we? We've got to give away a table for 6. Hey, before we do that, and I think the questions are going to be about the NFL head coaches. The NFL open head coaching positions left. Something like that. I just looking over at our good friend Josh Fenwick here. Looks like he bought a new Toronto Raptors hat. Is that a new hat, Penny Fenwick? Is that a new Raptors hat that you seem to have purchased?
That it is.
You bought a new hat? Really?
I bought a new hat.
When?
Sunday.
Why?
Oh boy. Well, so I had to leave my apartment for reasons that I will not discuss on the radio. But yeah, it was, I had a, eventful weekend, as you guys knew. And so I was up for about 30 seconds before I had to leave my apartment just because of the things that were going down. And I was like, I can't be walking around like this. I'm in my Kirkland signature sweatpants. I'm in the sweater I had worn the night before.
Whoa, Kirkland signature sweatpants.
Yeah. They're gray sweatpants that say Kirkland signature on them.
Wow.
Sometimes you could see me on Saturday morning wearing them. But
so you bought the hat.
So I went out and was like, my hair is far too greasy. So I bought this hat.
Where?
The Sports Closet in Sherwood Park.
Really?
They'd never done me wrong over there.
I went to Lids yesterday here in the mall and Sport Check because I was looking for a pink Oilers hat. They never had them.
Looking for
I was
for
looking
the baker?
for the baker to take down when we head down south here. She was looking for a pink Oilers hat.
Did you find one?
They never had it at either. They did say maybe United Cycle, so I might have to talk to Kelly Hodgson there.
Maybe.
I don't know. I haven't seen a whole lot of the pink Oiler hats. I know they have the pink toques and things like that when the Oiler wives and girlfriends do things for, cancer and stuff like that. That's, I think they sell them for like $20 at games and things like that.
They used to have the pink Oilers hats all around. I went to school with a bunch of people who had
honestly,
them.
well, I was looking for them yesterday, so haven't been able
I'll
to
text
see
my
them.
contacts in Sherwood Park. Check the sports closet for you.
How many hats have you got now? Like, have you got like a dozen, 2 dozen?
I mean, hats that I actually wear. It's this and my black Sports 1440 hat, really, and that's about the extent of it. I do have another Raptors hat, but I'm not really a hat guy.
Yeah.
I have one hat that I had to retire because it said Trump kids on it.
Yeah, you probably have a MAGA hat too, I'm betting.
I don't have a MAGA
Yes, you
hat.
do. I
It was a
bet you
pink
do.
hat that said Trump
No,
kids,
you
and the
got a
kids was in
MAGA hat.
blocks.
You're a MAGA. Duke, how many hats have you got? Because you seem, I've
got a new
seen
hat.
you, this is 2.5
This isn't
years.
even a new hat. I got this hat from Reed Clark.
I was gonna say,
our first year of operation, but it has just been in reserves waiting because it's so nice. I would only bust it out maybe special occasions. But my previous hat, my black Huey hat, it had reached the end of the line in terms of like the band was so stretched on it and stuff. So it was time to hang that one up. I'll probably replace it eventually with an identical hat because I've had that same one, I think 3 times over now. Just black on black with the Huey logo on top. I actually do have quite a few hats. The thing is, I don't wear them. They're more of like decoration pieces in my closet, I guess, because I don't have them on display or anything. I only prefer to wear black hats or hats that at least have like a black front, maybe a white mesh back.
You don't have a lot of color in your wardrobe, Duke.
I'm a very drab man.
It's like
Kevin.
Johnny
What
Cash.
can
You're
I
like the
say?
man in black.
I'm very drab. If I wear something with a pop of blue in it, that's pretty standoutish for me.
Wow.
I like to blend in. This is another one of the masses.
Chopper Lopatinsky keeps giving me hats from Century Vision. My eye doctor.
You wearing one of those down in Mexico? That'd be a great beach hat.
No, but I use his hats when I'm in the workshop, in the wood shop.
Okay.
Like for if you're doing some cutting or whatever, just to keep the sawdust out of the melon.
Right. Yeah, I have a black Sports 1440 hat, one of the actual like kind of curved beak ones. I normally wear it golfing, but I've had it for a couple years now. It's not black anymore. It is brown. So I see there must still be at least a couple left in reserves there because Mackenzie got one to wear yesterday when she went down to the Connor McDavid event at the Allendale School, where he was speaking kind of part of a Ben Stelter Foundation donation thing. So she had to rep the brand well down there. So that tells me Marty does have at least a few more
hidden hats.
I mean, it's a great conversation piece when I'm out golfing if I get paired with a random twosome or if even I'm going solo or something. It's a great conversation starter. People see the hat, they want to ask what it's about, or if I'm they're sometimes avid listeners. Several different options.
Blaine McMillan from Cowan Graphics gave me a beautiful 1952 Edmonton Mercury's hat.
Like the hats from 52 or the logos from 52?
It's it's a remake. It's a brand new hat. Beautiful hat. It's too nice to wear. Like it's just such a nice hat. Hey, Mac, the intern, let's hear about this little event you were at then with this hat that you pilfered here.
Yeah, it was good.
What was it all about?
It was because there was a bunch of schools through Edmonton that were raising money for the Ben Stelter Fund. And then as long as you raised at least $1,000, I believe, you got entered into a draw to have Connor McDavid come and do a Q&A with all of the students and stuff.
Yeah.
And Allendale was the one that won. And I think they raised like $2,100 or something like that.
Wow.
So, and it was all like student run promotions and stuff, which was really cool.
Is this your kind of first foray? Like, I don't know if you want to call it a reporter, but you're at an event, so you are reporting on it, I guess.
Yeah. First time. I was super nervous.
Were you?
Yeah.
Like, what was the most nervous part about it?
I think just because I've never been to like an event as like somebody in a professional setting like that. And then I was like, also I've watched Connor McDavid for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've only see him from the 200 level in Rogers Place.
Yeah.
So
Well, that must have been neat for you. Where
super cool.
At Allendale?
Mm-hmm.
So, and what time was it at?
2
to
like 3-ish.
Oh, great.
Yeah. South end of Edmonton.
Yeah.
Right off of Gateway.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
Allen. Yeah, it's like 106 kind of in there. I actually had a house in there years and years ago. Yeah, there was a nice meat market in there, Duke, in a little strip mall years ago.
Is the meat market what they called the house that you were living in?
Hey, never mind. I wasn't good. You want me to read MTR?
No, I prefer not
to. No kidding. Well, that's great, Mackenzie, that you got to do something like this. And you know what? And everyone will tell you, it's when you come out of school and you are an intern or it's your first job, when you do your first 1, 2, 3, you're always going to be nervous. You're always going to be out of your element. And all it does, it just takes a little experience, and it takes some time, and it takes a little bit of help from someone that's a little older, that's been in the business or whatever. But I'm thinking of you,
Maybe,
Duke,
maybe
right?
very
You know?
handsome, silver-haired fox, something like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Oh, no, I was talking about you, Duke. I was talking about you. So, yeah. Anyway, congrats. And just think, the last intern gig before this one was Sam the Record Man at the autograph signing.
What an outing he had.
Yeah. So
in his best suit, his toque on underneath. He was like adamant he had to keep his toque on. It was part of his image that he'd cultivated in his 2.5 months as an intern here.
Unreal.
Had to keep his toque on underneath the Sports 1440 hat. It was an odd choice, but to each their own.
Oh, for sure. Hey, let's give away a table for 6 at first round. How's that sound for the Super Bowl? Because it's going to be a wild scene at first round here at the mall. We've given away 2 so far. This will be our 3rd one. So it's for a table of 6, up to 6 guests. So it's $20 to get in as it is. But so that's all comped and taken care of. You also get a beer. It's a Bud Light or a Bud. You get the kettle chips, the premium seating. Plus, the big thing here, you get the entry into the Super Bowl grand prize draw to possibly win a home theater system. It's up to $3,000 for the total value. Insane. Great. You get, there's NFL giveaways, jerseys, etc. as the day
Kev,
goes
if
on.
I go,
Yeah.
am I eligible to win the draw?
Probably not, Duke.
Oh,
that would, that would be like,
think about how good that would look in my living room.
It would look really good Duke,
with my nice new couch. It's not really new anymore. It's
coffee table.
Eventually, this new coffee table. Exactly.
No, I don't
things
think
will
you're
really be coming together.
I do not
me.
think you're able to do it that Duke. But I
fair
mean,
enough.
do you want to go for the Super Bowl? It's at it's
I
close by for you.
usually venture over to Chucky Slicks. He puts on a really nice thing. His wife Abby, she kind of, at least she pretends like she really enjoys hosting, and she puts out this great spread with my new triple crock pot that I got at my Christmas
there
gift
you go.
exchange. I'm gonna put together a trio of dips, perhaps.
Really?
In the triple crock pot, Kev.
Wow.
It'll be heavy to carry though. I think.
That's impressed, dude. I mean, I'm very impressed with this.
Look, the dip I made last year was a real hit.
Like a spinach one, or
no? It was like just a cheese type thing, but it was some peppers and stuff in it. It was like a recipe I just randomly found on Instagram like years ago, and I was like, this looks unreal. I saved it,
yeah,
and I made it for the first time last year. I had it saved that whole time, just tucked away in the archives. Worth it. It was a hit.
Well, so you got a big day for sure. But anyway, table for 6 at first round. All you have to do is send us a text, 833-401-1440. Real easy one today. How many NFL coaching vacancies remain? How many NFL head coaching vacancies remain? Pretty easy one. So table for 6 at first round. The ability to win 3,000 smackers of prizes as far as the home theater goes. Get your text in, 833-401-1440. I had a text earlier, and this was from... where was it here? From Marty. And this is really a great take, Marty. We're assuming that there are no other additions, as in a Zach Hyman or whatever. Marty says, it's hard to believe that the Oilers have more German Olympians than Canadian Olympians. So when you think of Leon Draisaitl and Josh Szymanski called up, he'll play tomorrow as well. 2 Germans on the German Olympic team. And 1, obviously, Connor McDavid on the Canadian. Thanks for the text, Marty. Coming up top of the hour, we got David Schlemko. Will check in with us, our co-host for Cougar Paint and Collision. Jason Smith, old Gator, Edmonton Oil Kings coach. They are in action tonight in Calgary. We'll talk to Gator at 9:20. Michael Tracos from the Hockey News coming up at 10:20. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Riverside Honda. 59 years and counting as St. Albert and surrounding areas premier Honda and Can-Am dealer. It's your dream. Ride it at riversidehonda.com. Here is the Duke.
Sports 1440 update.
Team Canada has announced its flag bearers for the upcoming Olympics in Italy. Michael Kingsbury and Marielle Thompson will share the honor. Mogul Skill Kingsbury won gold in 2018 and silver in both 2014 and 2022, while Thompson will be participating in her fourth Olympics as well, winning gold in ski cross in 2014 and silver in 2022. 10-game slate in the NHL last night, including Toronto losing to Buffalo 7-4 for their fifth straight loss. Winnipeg got past the Devils 4-3. Cole Caulfield, goal streak, hitting 6 games. Habs beat Vegas 3-2 in overtime. Wild top Chicago 4-3 in a shootout. And Macklin Celebrini with 4 points in his hometown. Sharks win in Vancouver 5-2. Off the ice, Detroit Red Wings extending defenseman Ben Sherratt this morning on a 3-year deal. They will pay him an AAV of $3.85 million. And last night, the Devils trading Andre Palat to the Islanders in exchange for Maxim Siplikov, third-round pick this summer, and a sixth-rounder in 2027. In the association, 7 games total, including the Knicks beating the Kings 103-87, Denver losing to Detroit 109-107, and the Thunder topped the Pelicans 104-95 on the back of 29 points from Canadian Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Draw 13 of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts in Mississauga underway this morning. BC taking on Nova Scotia. Kerry Anderson and Team Canada playing the Northwest Territories. Yukon up against Saskatchewan, and Quebec currently facing Ontario in the feature match. Finally, Australian Open hitting the home stretch. Quarterfinal action overnight saw world number 2 Yannick Sinner beat Ben Shelton. Novak Djokovic beating Musetti. Jessica Pegula getting past Anisimova in 3 sets. And in women's doubles, Canadian Gabby Dabrowski and her partner, Luisa Stefani, pick up a win to advance through to the semis. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by our co-host, former NHLer David Schlemko, as well as head coach of the Edmonton Oil Kings, Jason Smith. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440,
A Stingray radio station.
broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Hear ye, hear ye. Dragon fruit has returned to Booster Juice. Prepare thyself for the legendary alchemy of the Dragon Slayer smoothie, Pink Dragon Booster Mixer, and Dragon Booster Ball. Does the dragon taste like chicken? Nay, Booster Juice uses only delicious tropical dragon fruit. No dragons are harmed. Get thee to Booster Juice before dragon fruit vanishes once more.
Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
The Hockey Super League is proud to launch its 9th season, delivering independent, borderless hockey. This year, over 125 teams will compete across Alberta, Saskatchewan, and for the first time ever, Colorado, USA, which showcase style action, cross-province rivalries, and a strong commitment to player development. The HSL is the premier destination for families seeking balance and athletes chasing the next level. The Hockey Super League. Hockey without limits. For athletes born in 2013 to 2018, visit hockeysuperleague.com to learn more.
Mr. Rooter goes skiing. Sick gear, Mr. Rooter. Are you ready to hit the slopes?
Not yet. I need to report a possible crime.
Oh no, what's happening?
I saw a bunch of hooligans discussing shredding the half pipe. As a plumber, I've taken the Hippocratic Oath to do no harm and act in the best interest of all pipes, whether PVC, copper, or otherwise.
It's made of snow, Mr. Rooter.
Snow? Things are worse than I had feared.
There's no better plumber than Mr. Rooter.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Happy New Year. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for everything in 2025. With your help and your support, we fed almost 500 families. We donated to various charities in the Edmonton area, and we're going to do it again in 2026. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 EEE. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
The Kevin Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 901 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick, and Mac the Intern with you on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. Time to welcome in our Wednesday co-host from 9 to 11 for Cougar Paint and Collision. Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family for over 40 years, part of the NAPA Certified Auto Body Program. Check them out at cougarcollision.com as we welcome in the former NHLer, David Schlemko. Good morning, Schlemmer.
Morning, KK.
Yeah, how was the weekend and everything?
Oh, weekend was good.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
Getting some golf in a simulator.
Absolutely.
Attaboy.
I can't get this wrestling video out of my head, though. Have you talked about this on the air?
Yeah, we talked about it and, on Monday, and then the video, we showed the video on Monday.
I wonder if Gator was watching from the bench.
I'll
have to ask him.
See, it's funny because they brought in, Andrew Peart, and then they brought in Brian Cheeseman at the very start of the game, and they made them look like the Men in Black guys because when the Oil Kings came out of not of the tunnel, but right from their dressing room, you know where that is.
Yep.
So they had like the sparklers going, and they had everything, and then they opened the doors, these guys, and they made it look like this was their wrestling entrance. And Gavin Hodnett, the captain, came in and he smacked the butt of his stick on the carpet there, and then the lights, the sparklers went off. And
yeah.
So
that's
it was
sweet.
Pretty cool. And then so we had a little tag team in the first intermission, and I had some fun with it. And,
that's unreal.
Yeah.
And that's awesome that they do that for the junior games, man. That brings people in.
I think, and Kevin Radomski's been on in the studio many, many times. And again, we're going to have Jason Smith in here right away.
Right. Yeah. That's what I said. We should ask him if he saw you. It's intermission.
I'm sure he's kind of worried about what's going on. Hey, let's have a look at Karius here. It was 3-0 at the time, though. The Oil Kings were up. Maybe he said, we got things under control. Maybe.
Yeah. No, it was intermission. I guess I was thinking maybe if it was like a TV timeout or something.
Well, here's the other thing. The coach's room where they have the ability to watch the in-house feed.
Oh, there you go.
So, maybe they're watching.
Maybe they caught a glimpse.
I don't know. Gator would have been pissing himself laughing what a joke that was or whatever. But anyway, it was fun and great to be a part of the Love Pro Wrestling. And again, with Radomski, obviously the number one game for them is the teddy bear toss.
Yeah.
But this is now Oil Rumble 3, and it's closing the gap. It'll never get to where, but the whole lower bowl was pretty full.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
that's great for a Western League game.
Well, so the kids want to come out and they love the wrestling,
of course,
and they gather right around the ring behind the net there.
More adults than would admit it also love wrestling.
The funny thing, and not that just when a guy went into the ring there, it was dark in that area. So when you looked out, it was sort of dark looking out to the stands and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then you were so focused on the match. I mean, you wanted to put on a show, right? So
Oh, you had it dialed in pretty good there.
yeah. Gator, not Fred, texts in, says would have wanted to get in there and throw one of his patented forearm shivers.
Oh, did he ever have the forearm shiver?
Oh man, yeah, exactly. Duke, here's a little problem with our trivia question. So we had a trivia question for table for 6 at first round for the Super Bowl. What are we going to do here, Duke? Take both answers, I guess?
I suppose so. I think it would only be right. Is this? Yeah. Josh leaned over and showed me right as I finished reading my update, the breaking news from ESPN. I was like, oh, that's going to complicate things a little bit here.
So
the number has changed. The answer has changed.
Todd Monken hired as the Cleveland Browns head coach right when we were in the break. So we had the trivia question: how many NFL head coaching vacancies remain? So right when we asked the question, basically this comes out, and
it went down one.
Kind of funny, yeah. So we'll take either answer, I guess,
that's
right,
fine.
Dude? And we'll probably do that at the close of this segment. So how many head coaching vacancies remain in the NFL for a table for 6 at first round for the Super Bowl party? You can again win up to a $3,000 home theater system.
Sweet.
833-401-1440. I don't even know where to start with you, Schlemmer. Well, maybe let's talk about the Oilers and where they are after. Well, they've had 3 games. They've allowed 15 goals in the last 3 games.
It hasn't been a beautiful homestand here, has it? They're 3-2 right now. They're 3-2 on this homestand, or is that what it is? 3-2? I think they got 3 games left, right?
They have 3 games left on the homestand because Toronto's the one in
the last one. So yeah, I believe they're 3-2. So they're over 500. They still have a chance to make this a really good road trip. Didn't love the game against Anaheim. Got a guy, I must say, Duke. They looked like a pretty damn good team with the guys they were missing out there. Looked like a very confident young team. Just went to sleep in the second period for a little bit, and the Oilers are a team that'll make you pay.
You're right. So it started with a win over the Blues, losses to the Devils, Penguins, overtime win on the Caps, and then the Ducks 7-4 on Monday. Sharks are here tomorrow, your former alma mater, then Minnesota and Toronto. They still haven't won 3 games in a row. They can do that against the Sharks. The thing with the storyline on Monday night was defensemen and scoring.
It's the hat tricks among defensemen. Even Dahlin had one last night. It's unbelievable.
So Bouchard Saturday, Ekholm on Monday, Rasmus Dahlin last night, and had 2 assists.
Yeah.
So big
Demon,
5-point night.
racking up the points.
What's going on, eh? It's just,
love it. I loved it for Ekholm the other night. He's not a guy that's known for his offense, but he does have some. He's got an absolute bomb of a shot, but you don't see him getting on the score sheet that much. So you can see how happy his teammates were for him when he got that last one.
Well,
there.
Even Bouchard doesn't get excited about anything.
True.
I mean, Bouchard was happier for Ekholm and his 3 goals than he was with his 6 points against Washington.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And that's great to see because that's the teammate you want.
Exactly. Love that.
Hey, what about the third goal? And we talked about it yesterday. So the third goal, the game's over. It's 6-4, 15 seconds left or whatever it was. So Leon and Ekholm have a quick little discussion, and the draw is to the left of Tristan Jarry. So when Ekholm's back there, I was wondering, and I can't remember the face-off alignment. At times, sometimes the Oilers have had the defenseman along the sideboards.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I can't remember either if he was lining up off the inside to kind of take that puck on his forehand and shoot it.
No, he was right behind.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Right behind.
I'm not sure if he came from the inside hash or if he wheeled straight from the wall. I know as he did like a little stop and back and found the hole.
Exactly. So, but normally, let's just pretend it's only a 1 goal. Say they're up 5-4 instead of 6-4. Where would Ekholm normally be then?
I would think, well, depending on where you want to go in the draw, if you go strong side, which a lot of teams do now, you get your D to kind of switch hands and get that board D to tie up and then just hammer glassing out.
Okay, fair. So I'm just looking, I couldn't remember where Bush was. Bouchard's along the wall.
Yeah.
As a right-handed defenseman to the left.
Right.
And Ekholm should be on the hash marks if it's 5-4.
So the play is probably for him to just pick that puck up right on his forehand and have a shot.
Or Yeah,
he audibles a little bit.
Or, if you win the draw, you're rimming it around the whole bit, right? So I know Leon and Ekholm had a little chat before the draw, and for the most part, that's not exactly, if it's 6-4, I get where, you're coming from, because he's going, if I win the draw back directly, because Leon basically went between his legs to get back to Ekholm.
He's saying we're going to tie up.
Ekholm's got a sort of a free thing here. It's Connor, and it is, who is it? It wasn't Zach. It is, Zach Hyman's out. So those two guys are on the hash marks in front. So it's just a different alignment, because they're going, if we win the draw clean, you got a shot here. So
yeah, everybody get a good bump.
Give it a sniff for your hat trick goal and take it from there. So I thought it was pretty cool. Just that alignment.
Definitely.
Anyway.
Nice to see Spencer Stastny get on the board too.
Yeah.
Been playing really strong. Lucky Browns, but they don't ask how.
Exactly. So many, we get texts about Darnell Nurse a lot. So on that goal, it would be the 5-4 goal, and that's a power play goal. So Oilers are shorthanded. So it's the Granlund third goal of the game in the third period. So Nurse is going down to sort of block the shot.
Yeah,
what's the best play? Again, shorthanded situation, Schlemmer. What's his best play there?
I mean, it's kind of a broken play, and like you say, it's shorthanded, so it's not a normal rush. What I will say is Darnell gets caught in no man's land, swimming on his knees just above the crease way too often.
Okay. And just so on that play, he's going out towards Granlund a little bit, but he is sort of in no man's land too.
Yeah, like I'd like to see him just try to get in that lane, maybe go out a stick on puck. I just think as an offensive guy, when you're just kind of laying there in no man's land, it's so easy. You have so many options. You have time. You can still shoot it. You can move. I just don't love the way he plays those.
Right. I'm just kind of, I want to punch that one up again and see. And I'm looking at it again where Granlund comes back. Darnell's directly in front, but he's not going towards Granlund either. It's almost like, again, I see where you're saying that no man's land. I'm not sure. And again, every situation's different.
I was just going to say that every situation's different. Sometimes, you have a low 2-on-1, and that's a good play to, just lay down and take away the blue paint. But I find a lot of times there's guys shooting from way too far out, like the flank, and he's just kind of swimming down on one knee just outside the blue paint, where you're not really doing anything good there.
Yeah. And it's a seam pass from Beckett Seneca that goes through the seam, basically through Wallman, through Nurse, and through Podkolzin.
Shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Good pass though.
Yeah.
Beckett Seneca, what a player.
Yeah, he's a good player, huh?
Really good.
I was telling Gregor in the press box, and I think I've told Duke too. I hope this guy just stays at the weight he's at. And I hate to say this because, like, this guy could be, he's at 210 pounds right now, and he's still growing into his body.
Right.
Like, I still want to have that quickness for him.
He still looks so raw, but like he's so good already.
Well, yeah, I mean, he skates like the wind. You know what I'm saying? Like
I see what you're saying. You want him to lose that, like, that agility.
We don't want him turning into Ovi here, for Pete's sake, do we?
Well, he shoots it like Ovi.
900 goals. We'll take the 245. Yeah, he's good. And then, Jackson Lacombe was fun watching him.
He was really good all night. One of those guys that just kind of seems like the puck follows him around. Gets a lot of touches, just touches a lot of areas of the game.
Yeah, they were missing three key guys,
top guys,
Terry, McTavish, and Carlson.
Yeah, must be something about Coach Q. Hey, wherever he goes, he's
Jay Woodcroft.
He seems to have success.
Well, listen, Coach Q puts himself. This is now twice in very good positions with what he is going into the situation that is presenting himself.
Fair.
Chicago.
A lot of good teams in the league, though.
He's
doing something right.
Stupid. He saw what was going on. He knows where the Ducks are going. And you pick up a guy like Kreider, you pick up a guy like Trouba.
Yeah. they've added some real nice veteran pieces. Good mix there.
Like, do you think about it, who they had at center? The Oilers, I was talking about this center ice matchup. So you got Leon, you got Connor, Szymanski's first game, so that brings something into play. Ducks counter with Granlund, Harkins, Paling, and Washi. So that's a lot had to do with where that game, how it unfolded too. I think so.
Fair. How did Granlund, He seems just like an Oiler killer.
Another 3 goals.
Or had he? He's got 12 now. So, like, he just seems to bring it against the Oil for some reason.
One more hat trick, and it'll be an NHL record for hat tricks in a month. 28 right now.
Wow. Yeah, that didn't happen when I was playing. We got a couple more apples in there.
Did you have 2 goals in a game once?
Nope.
Yeah?
Never.
Would have been nice, eh?
Would have been, yeah.
Just to see exactly, like how the guys would be feeding you as the game progressed.
Yeah.
It would have been nice. David Schlumko with us on a Wednesday morning. When we come back, we'll check in with Jason Smith, Edmonton Oil Kings head coach, the Oil Kings in Calgary, to take on the Hitmen tonight. That's straight ahead after the break. Kevin Karius, David Schlumko, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick, and Mac the Intern on Sports 1440 AM radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
New Year's resolutions. We all make them. We all say we're going to start eating healthier or going to the gym or starting that new hobby. But at GS Construction, we actually follow through on our New Year's resolution because it's the same every year. We promise to set the groundwork, literally, for another year of progress and growth. And we've stuck by that resolution since 1974. So start that all-you-can-eat diet. GS Construction is going to start planning right now for the year ahead. For more on what we do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Weekly NFL giveaways, drink specials, huge screen TVs. The hits keep coming at First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Watch NFL football at First Round, and you could win a trip to your favorite NFL city for a regular season game next season. Catch NFL action Thursday nights, all day Sunday, starting with the Pro Bowl brunch from 10:30 to 2. Then Monday night with half-price boneless wings after 6 p.m. First Round, burgers, beer, sports. Downtown and Bourbon Street, West Edmonton Mall.
Exciting news from St. Albert Dodge. The all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages have arrived. They have a great selection and a bunch of colors to choose from. And if you've checked out the Sport, you know it comes in some fun colors. Rugged capability, practical off-road features, and you can get behind the wheel for as low as $49,900. That's right. Put yourself in a brand new Jeep Gladiator Sport for less than $50,000. What more can you ask for? Time to head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
He's heading into the driveway. Temperature's dropping fast, folks. He opens the hood and, oh no, the battery's on thin ice.
Yeah, that's a tough break, Tim. I mean, you can't expect to compete and win with weak parts in your game like that.
But wait, he's made a clutch move. He's gone to Napa Auto Parts for the win. They've got batteries, winter-grade oils, antifreeze, and wiper blades built for cold Alberta conditions.
That's a championship play, Tim.
With over 85 Alberta locations, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Catch the biggest game on the biggest screens in the city. River Free Resort and Casino invites you to the ultimate football watch party. Sunday, February 8th in the venue. 3 giant screens, all-you-can-eat buffet, desserts and snacks, $5.25 drink features, and tons of prizes. Don't miss River Free's ultimate football watch party with premium VIP seating available. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
You're listening to Sports 1440 and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Sports 24/7. We are Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9:20 in Edmonton. Time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, and the all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages have arrived. And boy, have we got a great selection. Many colors to pick from as well. $49,900 gets you behind the wheel. Brand new Jeep Gladiators, under 50 grand. Check them out at stalbertdodge.com as we welcome back Jason Smith, head coach of the Edmonton Oil Kings. Morning Gator, you're with Kevin Karius and David Schlemko, the former NHLer. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
What time do you guys head out? How's the day look heading down to Calgary here, Gator?
The guys get into the rink here around 11 and do a little workout. We go over a little video and then hop on the bus and basically pull in for a Tim Hortons stop in Airdrie and then get into the rink and get ready to go.
Well, Schlemmer's just laughing and smiling about this Tim Hortons stop. What's that look like with 25 guys getting off the bus?
That's pretty funny. Some guys get there, have their usual snacks and treats that they like, and then sometimes end up spending a little extra time there just based on how busy it is. But it's definitely needed, and the coaches definitely need their coffee stop. So.
Exactly. Yeah, no kidding.
Well, Gator, KK was saying that you guys travel like to Medhat and Lethbridge. You guys go day before the game?
Yeah, that's one thing that's really good.
Unreal.
I mean, the only day ones are Red Deer and Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's pretty nice.
Which is good. Like, I mean, it's nice not to have to sit on the bus for 5 or 6 hours and get right into the rink. It's nice to get there the day before and have a meal, and then a lot of those days when we've traveled, we don't skate that day. So we get in and have a morning skate the day of the game, and guys get a feel for the ice and getting ready to go. So it's
perfect.
Good.
Yeah. Jason Smith with us on the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlemko on Sports 1440. I got to see a little bit of the Blades game on Sunday afternoon there, Gator. One of the first things I noticed, and it's been like this since you acquired him, in Carter Southern on the back end, paired up with Ethan McKenzie, although Ethan was obviously gone for a little bit too. But what do you like of that pairing? Boy, those are two solid guys on the back end.
Yeah, I mean, both guys are stable and experienced. I think Ethan's got a little more dynamic speed and able to skate the puck up the ice. But Carter's a great passer. He's got a long reach and can cover a lot of distance with that, and he's got the ability to move the puck, pass the puck, and shoot the puck in the ozone and create offense, which is great. I think they've been getting more comfortable playing with each other, and anytime you add a player to your team and you mix up your D partners, it sometimes takes a little time to adjust, and we're working our way through it.
Yeah.
Right on. Wanted to ask you about Miroslav Holinka. He's leading the team in goals, points, shorthanded goals. Big part of your team. What kind of player, what kind of pro does he project to be?
Well, I mean, I think he's a multi-type centerman. I think he's, you're going through his stats there. You talk about, penalty kill goals. And so he's out on the penalty kill in, critical times and situations. He's, he plays all aspects of the game for us, and he's got a knack for putting the puck in the net. I think he's got very good skill. He's mobile for a big body, and he likes to play the whole rink. I think he's very good in the defensive zone of killing plays and being in a good spot to support on the breakouts. And I mean, you never really know what guys are going to transfer into when they move up. I think most guys these days end up spending a little time in the American League and kind of honing their craft there. And then when they get an opportunity, if that opportunity comes to get called up, you got to make that impression. And hopefully he gets that opportunity to do that sooner than later.
How are you health-wise, Gator, in the sense with the injuries and everything? I know in that one game, Dylan Dean and Max Kern went down, but how's the overall health of the team?
Pretty good. I mean, we've got some bumps and bruises, and a few guys will be out. Max is going to be out a little bit long-term, but a few guys are going to be out, this weekend for these games coming up here. But generally pretty healthy, and I think this is kind of, you've been around hockey long enough that end of January, first couple of weeks of February, always the kind of the dog days of the season. And just got to try and stay healthy and, be wary of our work to rest ratio in practice and make sure the guys are rested and feeling good when it comes time to play games.
For sure. Dog days of the winter, especially up in Edmonton. Any young guys starting to, make a push in the second half?
Caden Strider's, he started, he's a 16-year-old kid, but he's starting to find some poise and confidence. And, I think as a 16-year-old jumping into this league, you kind of never really know how that's going to transfer, but he's a real smart player. He's got puck poise and skill and he's starting to, feel comfortable on the ice in all situations. And, when you can add, a player that's young and he can start to contribute to your group, that's obviously very positive. And then on the back end, Noah Tamu and Leezy are, two younger kids, 17-year-old kids that are playing together and, they're playing solid hockey. They're playing solid minutes and there's no fear of putting them on the ice really against, any line in the league. They've been out there against the best players and are doing well. So, it's exciting times for our group, and it's exciting time for the future with the young guys that are, still coming.
Yeah. Gavin Hodden had missed some time, played about approximately half the year so far. Is he up to speed yet? What's he got to kind of do to get where you want him to be here, moving down the stretch?
Yeah, Gavin's making steps. I think he came back and, anytime you come back from a long injury and especially something like a high ankle sprain, you're never really comfortable until you've played, 10 or 15 games when you're not tweaking it anymore and you're not thinking about it. And he's very competitive. Very competitive. He moves the puck very well, has really good vision with the puck. And, he's gaining traction and his games are getting better and better. I mean, for a stretch there, the Holinka, Sasha, and Hodnett line was probably one of the hottest lines in junior hockey. So, I mean, we got to get them back rolling along and playing with confidence and creating offense for us, and we'll be in a good spot.
Wondering if you could touch on Ethan McKenzie a little bit more. I think most people are aware of him now after the World Juniors, but personally for myself, love that story and, an undrafted kid moving up. What has he done in the last couple of years to kind of come out of nowhere here?
Well, I think from my standpoint, I can tell you what, I've been here only since the start of the year here, but I know one of the biggest things is the time he put in the off season, getting stronger, working on his quickness and his pace. And, he was a kid that was, when he was first 16 playing in the league, he was like 5'11". Now he's 6'1". So, you get a little bit of growth and, you mature physically and become a stronger young man opposed to being a 16-year-old kid. And I think he's really pushed himself to grow and gain confidence with his game, and his puck skills and his ability to skate are his great assets. And then he loves to shoot the puck and he can score from range, which is when you get guys that can shoot the puck in from the blue line or 5 feet inside the blue line, that's a real positive factor.
Jason Smith with us on the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlemko on Sports 1440. Maybe just touch on the Eastern Conference as a whole, the arm race at the deadline with Prince Albert picking up some key pieces, Medicine Hat's right there just in front of you. But there is a little bit of separation after yourselves, the Hat, and the Raiders. What do you make of the Eastern Conference heading down the stretch here?
Well, I think obviously the three teams. Prince Albert's a deep team and a good team. Medicine Hat's got skill and has been playing really, really well. I think we're a team that when we're playing at our best, we can play with anybody and win games. And then the rest of the division is been competitive and not the three teams up top are a little bit ahead, but there's no easy game. I can tell you that. Every time you put your equipment on and get out there, it's a battle. And whether you're at the top of the standings or midway down or at the bottom, there's no easy games in this league, and it's very competitive.
Well, Gator, I got to ask about my good buddy Chip. Assistant coach Kyle Chipchura. Haven't really seen him that much since he started working for you guys. Must be working him like a dog. But what does he bring to the staff?
Well, obviously experience playing the game and knowledge, but I think he's done a real good job working with our forwards and just some of the little details that, protect puck protection and how to, get off the wall and, take advantage of space. And, when you got somebody in your hip pocket, you can use their momentum to come out of the corner and that kind of stuff, and finding soft ice and, not just the, the skate fast, pass fast, and shoot fast. But a lot of these kids are taught, all the way through youth hockey. He's trying to, pass on experience about the details and how important they are and how they can help you, take steps progressing in your game, as well as, obviously helping our team.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to look at one other player too, and you pick him up in the trade with Vancouver at the deadline, in Aaron Obabafo. What's he brought to your squad so far?
Well, in the games he's played, he's got a pace. He skates very well. He's competitive. He can track up and down the rink and kill plays, and he's a very responsible, 200-foot player, which is, an asset to our group. And I think, his pace that he can bring, getting in on the forecheck, creating turnovers, and then, helping along on the offensive side of it as well is going to be a real good factor for our group. And just excited about where his game's going to go as he gets more confident here in our group.
It was a busy weekend for you, Gator. Besides your, being head man of the Oil Kings, you had the Shoresy thing. Monday, big cameo on Prime. Let's talk about the weekend that was for you.
It was busy, but it was fun. I mean, it was the hips were feeling the effects of the Shoresy game. I got to admit that. I can't say that. I've been on the ice a lot as a coach, but I'm not pivoting and going back for pucks and all that at that pace. So, but it was a fun event to be a part of. Obviously, great for the community to come out and support it and raise money for charity. And it was a real good group of guys that we were playing against. And obviously, it's nice to get back together with guys I played with and guys that have been through the Oilers organization over the years, and have some laughs and have some fun.
What do you think of the pace? Stretty texted me, said it was at such a high level he could barely keep up.
It was quicker than I thought, especially the first period was the first period of the game was a much quicker period than the second period. The second period was a little more of a grinding type game, which is probably more beneficial for our group to slow the pace and work from the inside out and not have to go up and down the rink. But they're pretty sneaky and tactical, those guys. They love the two guys blow the zone and look for the breakaway pass. So you had to always be aware of what they were up to and how they were trying to create their goals.
No kidding. Well, you mentioned about seeing some guys and that you played with 20 years ago. Was there someone that came in that you hadn't seen for a while?
You know what? Probably Hemmer. I mean, I hadn't seen Hemmer for a bunch of years, but I ran into him one time a ways back, and then I get to see Fernando, and I've seen Rafi at some alumni events, and obviously Georgie and whatnot. But I hadn't seen Hemmer for a while, but he still looks the same. He's still can handle the puck and skate and has those smooth mitts. So it was good to see those guys and be a part of that event for sure.
Yeah, and then even coming on the broadcast on Prime on Monday night, you're just a natural. You're a natural. Everyone's saying.
Oh yeah, naturally. Yeah, I actually called my wife beforehand. I'm like, you know what? I haven't sat on a panel like that for a long time. I'm a little nervous, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure what direction they're going to go with questions here. Are they going to talk Oiler hockey? Are they going to talk Oil King hockey? And I survived. I didn't embarrass myself, which was nice, and got through it.
Yeah, well, it was great. So this road trip. So tonight in Calgary, then you head into Saskey, right?
No, we go tonight Calgary, and then we play Moose Jaw with Current.
So 3 and 4, is that right?
Yeah. We play Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and then get on the old iron lung right back after the game in Swift, and have a relaxing Sunday on the couch. That's the plan.
Perfect.
Gator, as always, thanks for the Oil Kings update, and thanks for sharing your memories with Shorzy and Prime on the weekend. Really appreciate it. Good luck tonight in Calgary, and then the rest of the trip in Sasky. Appreciate it, man.
For sure. Thank you. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Jason Smith. I don't think I ever called him Jason ever. It was always his Gator. It was always Gator. And, he had the Gator tattoo on his arm. That's how it basically, from Florida, Florida State.
Yeah.
Not Florida State, Florida. Just
Florida Gators.
Just Florida.
Yeah.
So, Seminoles for the other. But, so it was just Gator. And, he was tough.
Oh, beauty. Old school throwback.
Oh, yeah. Had a text here where it just came in. BC Oiler, too bad we couldn't instill some Gator in the current Oilers D. Absolute pit bull in his playing days. Yeah, he was. And played hurt and whatever, shoulders.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all the things. I would hate to be like a Oil Kings D-man, making a soft play coming off the ice. Try not to make eye contact with him.
Well, yeah, he probably doesn't even have to say anything. Like, if you make the eye contact, you know exactly where you are.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even have to say anything.
Yeah. That's the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where, again, the all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages are here. Under $50K gets you behind the wheel. Check them out at stalbertdodge.com. When we come back, we will reveal the winner. The winner of our table for six for first round. Super Bowl Sunday, right here at the mall that has it all on Bourbon Street. 3 tables of 6 down, 3 more to go. That's right after the break. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick, Mac the Intern on Sports 1440 AM radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Whether you need bodywork, paint touch-ups, or anything in between, the family at Cougar Paint and Collision takes every customer issue to heart.
We've had a lot of really good customers over the years. One guy, he would bring in everything and he would just expect us to be able to kind of fix it. It didn't matter what it was. And one time he brought in his washing machine.
The only thing that was wrong with it was the drum was rusted out or something.
Yeah, he wasn't going to replace it.
Yeah, we had to weld it up. Anyways, he was a nice old guy. Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Equipment Auction is this Friday at 9 a.m. featuring graders, forklifts, wheel loaders, man lifts, mini excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, plus commercial trailers and sea cans. Info at maauctions.com.
Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru. Engineered for Canadian winters, built for real-life confidence. Tackle the ice and snow with Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive, delivering the power, control, stability, and grit you need. And when the temperature plummets, you'll cruise in comfort with heated seats and heated steering wheel. All this plus peace of mind with Subaru's top safety pick status for 19 years running. This winter, it's time to get you into a Subaru. Visit Subaru.ca today.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Industrial Auctions are this Thursday and Friday. These major events include multiple lanes selling a large section of multi-purpose trucks, equipment, and commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:40 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko with you here on a Wednesday morning. David Schlemko, powered by Cougar Paint and Collision. Our family helping your family for over 40 years, part of the Napa Certified Auto Body Program, CougarCollision.com. Our winner for the table of 6 at first round in the Super Bowl party. You could win, again, we're going to do 3 more of these. You could win the home theater system, $3,000 value there. Sasha wins it. And thankfully, Sasha just threw his nickname in there. His name is Alexander Tarmanovsky. So we'll get your details, Sasha, to Mark and Scott at first round, and they'll be in contact with you and get you all the details when you got to show up. The whole bit, it's, I mean, if you're there by, probably should be there by like 3 o'clock to have some fun, right, Duke? 3 o'clock on Super Bowl Sunday.
My Super Bowl Sunday is going to start much earlier than that. It's going to be a round of golf or 2, even at the stimulator at Chucky Slick's place. Maybe I'll even take all the ingredients so then I don't have to carry my triple crock pot full of the dips. I'll make it there in the morning.
Crock pot.
It's what I got it in a Christmas gift exchange. It's all one piece, like this giant, and they're not just warming trays, like they're each their own little knob for low, high, medium.
That's actually pretty sweet.
It's 3 of them in one. It's literally made for a Super Bowl party.
Okay, so you're going to buy the dips
pre-made and then just dump
pre-made
them
and
in
put
there.
them in, right?
No. Come on, Kev. Not even I would do that.
What dips are you going with?
He doesn't know. That's
I got a week. I got a week and a half to figure it out.
So a cheese dip?
It's not exactly like the rocket science here. Like,
wow. Like you can do a cheese
throw a bunch
fondue.
of cheese in a pot, turn it on low, and dump in some peppers and some this and that and the other. Maybe I'll make a buffalo chicken one.
You gotta do the spinach dip.
I don't like spinach dip. I think it's just okay. I'd rather make something else.
Like what?
TBD. Maybe like a nice bacon ranch dip or something. I don't know.
What
Get
are you
creative?
What are you putting
That's
in?
what the For You page on Instagram is for.
Yeah.
Just find all the recipes on there.
What are you dipping in
other
here?
things. What am I dipping in it? I'm a fan
carrot
of just the
sticks?
classic Tostitos. Like I think those are great dips.
See, I was
but you
going
can go whatever
healthy
you
there.
want in it.
Not just the tortilla chip. Tostitos.
Oh yeah, they got to go name brand. Here's the other thing. Abby Slick's wife will usually whip up some jalapeno poppers, like bacon wrapped ones.
Mm-hmm.
Just dip one of those, dunk it right down in there, one of those dips. Then you're really living.
Love it.
I don't know. I'm concerned. Husks sounds like Duke's going to wake up with a headache next Monday.
There's a chance.
Yeah.
Him and all of America.
Yeah, a lot of people think that Monday should be a holiday.
Oh, it absolutely should be in America.
You know what? And another thing that might be considered, and it's not the end of the world if it were to happen, because it is, you're taking an extra week off. What's wrong with the Super Bowl being on a Saturday?
Because it's just not the way it is.
Well,
here's the thing, Kev. It's going to be moot because the league's going to move to an extended schedule again.
Oh, then
and
there'll
the
be
Super Bowl is going to be pushed back a
Okay.
week. And so the Monday will be a holiday, family day up here, and President's Day in the United States.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, really?
I mean, think of the productivity that goes on the Monday after the Super Bowl.
This was when I first moved back to Edmonton and was living in Fort Saskatchewan with my buddy Slick, and I had a preseason future on the Rams to win the Super Bowl. It was like plus 1,200, and I was going to Nate, so I did not make it to class Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that much. I was celebrating pretty intensely after the Rams beat the Bengals, and I cashed a pretty nice ticket.
Attaboy. Yeah, and again, because Todd Monken was hired in Cleveland, correct answer 2 or 3.
Technically 2. It was 3 when we asked the question. It became 2 by the time we. So I put all answers of 2 and 3 in the wheel and gave it a spin.
And MTR is correct. Duke is going to be doing this cheese whiz in a pot.
Oh,
put on high.
Come on now. You guys give me no respect.
Oh, Duke,
you get no respect.
You're talking about all this stuff. He makes his pot of pasta here, and you'd think that this was something that was from the Sicilian kitchen. Well,
it was. That's how good it is.
So a bag of pasta
Could have been from Vivo's.
with a whole jar of classical sauce. Put it on. That's pasta, baby.
I used all my time to chop my onions and my Italian sausage. I didn't have time to make a sauce.
See, at least Josh, when he does the tomato soup, it's sort of from scratch.
You make tomato soup from scratch?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a loser.
You must really like tomato soup.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
come on. Yeah. The blind date he had at 2 a.m. Come on over. I'll make you tomato soup.
Make you some soup.
Time now for Are You In or Out?
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
Edmonton Oilers enjoying consecutive days without a game for the first time in 3 weeks. Josh Szymanski made his NHL debut Monday night against the Ducks, went +2, 75% on faceoffs in just under, 8 minutes of ice time based on the current Oilers roster construction, subject to change. Trade deadline's coming up. Szymanski's skill set makes him a more likely option to play more games with the Oilers in this second half of the season than the likes of Ike Howard or even Quinn Hudson.
Wow. I mean, one game here, so I think we got to pump the brakes. Very small sample size. He'll have the call up rookie bump here for whatever, and then you'll have a drop off as well. Happens to pretty well everyone.
Well, I'm not saying he's going to be with the team the whole year.
He's likely to play more games this year than Howard or Hudson.
For the remainder of the year?
Yeah.
Okay, the remainder of the year. So not counting what they've played already.
Sorry, this season.
Okay.
My apologies.
No. Well, I mean, hey, Duke, you know what happened to me?
Got to be specific.
Yeah. Look what happened to me earlier in the show.
Very well. I'm not out here saying he's going to play the rest of the season with the German national team.
Man. So I would take Hudson out of the mix, but Howard maybe gets another call. A lot depends on injuries. You know what? Let's go in. Why not? Let's go in.
All right. Well, I hope Josh isn't still losing sleep over that empty net he missed the other night. That was really, really tough to see. But overall, I liked his game. Like you said, I mean, lots to like. He's good in the dot. He brought some speed out there. Do I think he's going to end up playing more games than Ike Howard? Probably not, even the rest of the year. It depends on like injuries and who's out, who's in, but I just don't see it. I think I'm going to be out. I still think Ike Howard plays more games than Szymanski.
Interesting.
It's a great question because it could be either way here.
Yeah.
You know, and again, the whole thing, who's 3C moving forward? Are you making a trade for a 3C?
Mm-hmm.
I think, I'm sorry to say, but I think Schlemmer a lot, and you're good buddies with him, Adam Henrique. He just hasn't been able to be a 3C this year.
No, I think his job's in a little bit of trouble right now.
So I think he's a 4LW right now if he comes back.
You might be right.
The New York Islanders making another move last night, adding Andre Palat from the Devils, Maxim Siplikov, and some draft picks headed back the other way to Jersey. And for the Devils, get a salary off the books for a player that hasn't quite lived up to expectations since coming over from the 2 cup wins in Tampa Bay. For the Islanders, second straight day of making an addition to their roster. And looking around, they're sitting in a playoff spot. I still think they would need to add a top 6 offensive weapon to solidify any beliefs in them as a surefire playoff team this season.
Oof. That's a tough one. Because I do think Palat can be a good top 6 piece on that team. He's been a really good player for a long time. He brings a lot. He reminds me of a guy, not in the same like the way they play, but a guy like Nuge who's a little bit underappreciated and kind of touches a lot of areas of the game. But I see what you say with, the Islanders, they don't score a ton of goals. So I'll probably go in on this. I think they could still use a little bit of scoring touch, but I really like the Palat addition.
You know, they got some guys on IR too yet, like Palmieri's still on IR. I don't know what his status is.
Yeah, but like LTIR, same with like Pierre Engvall, but at this stage, Palmieri, like I love Kyle Palmieri going back to when he busted in with Anaheim, of course. But like at this stage, is he that offensive boost that this team needs? That's currently 25th in the NHL on goals for per game. Their power play stinks. It's near the bottom of the league standings. They're very stingy. The goaltending has been among the league's best this year between Sorokin and Riddick. Obviously, what Schaefer has provided for almost like an energy boost plus his actual performance to the team's morale this year is exceptional. I like just how congested the playoff race is. There's still lots of jumbling to be done and teams to decide if they're going to be buyers or sellers here coming out of the Olympic break. I like the Islanders, but to really think that they're going to be a playoff spot or lock up a playoff spot, I need to see a little more offensive punch from them. And I don't think the guys they have currently can provide it.
Yeah, to me, they're almost. They have like I look at the LA Kings and I think of the Islanders East. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they suck. They suck to watch.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I mean, well, they have Schaefer now, which actually makes him way better to watch because he's up in the rush every shift. But
and hey, Bo Horvat missed some time, obviously, which matters. He's just going to play his third game back tonight when they take on the Rangers. Pointless so far since returning from injury, but this is a guy that still leads the team in goals, and he missed 3 weeks of the season. So clearly a guy that was missed throughout the lineup, but we'll see if he can get back on track as early as tonight. Around the rest of the NHL, trade rumors elsewhere continue to swell ahead of the February 4th roster freeze, pre-Olympic trade freeze. Obviously, the deadline coming up in early March. The name Jesper Wallstedt has been floated around as a potential trade chit for Minnesota. I've said it on this show before. I think Minnesota still needs help down the middle to complement the addition of Quinn Hughes. Trading Jesper Wallstedt would be a mistake.
And
I mean, goalies, you don't come along like this, man.
Yeah.
And it's funny because one of the teams that has been tied to Wallstedt potentially is the Ottawa Senators, who need some goaltending help. The Canadiens could be put in that camp too, who fired their goalie coach this morning. We had Sam Montembeault was on Team Canada. The Four Nations face-off was long in the mix to be for the Olympic team for Canada. He has not had his game this season. For the Sens specifically, they traded Philip Gustafsson to Minnesota when he was a young goaltender that was kind of struggling to find his footing a little bit in the NHL. That has come back to bite them. Now, Gustafsson's still not an old guy, but I think having a tandem of good goalies is better than, I just think it would be a little short-sighted by Bill Guerin to move on at this point.
Yeah, I mean, a young goalie like this, you can't give up on him when he's shown what he's done.
Well, and that's what I mean. Like he's had a ton of success.
He's
let
been too
alone
good.
A young guy, high draft pick that is struggling a little bit early in his career. That's not the case here at all. He's been excellent.
I'm trading Gustafsson before I'm trading him.
I think I'm with
100%.
you, and then plus the benefit. I mean, like Gustafsson, I don't know what his money is. It's probably not a huge amount, but it's still more than Wallstedt. So now going into the playoffs, if you're a cup hopeful team with a rookie goaltender, that can be a little bit dicey, but do you try and get back a veteran backup maybe in any deal that would potentially involve Gustafsson if there's also a centerman? Who knows, right?
So Gustafsson goes to 6'8" next year, Duke.
Oh.
And the problem with Gustafsson is he's got the no movement clause this year, next year, and the year following. Wallsted's at 2-2 for this year and next year.
Maybe Gustafsson waives that to go to Broadway. I'm hearing lots of Trocheck rumors going to Mini.
Really? Interesting. And then New York just has a casual $18 million tied up in goaltending instead of just 12. But
yeah, maybe don't work.
I just can't. I can't envision Minnesota. They got to get creative to make something happen, but I don't think Wallstedt should be part of the conversation.
Agreed.
Big waves made yesterday, reports indicating that Bill Belichick will not be elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame on the first ballot, this being his first year eligible. Career controversies aside, Spygate, Deflategate, everybody hates the Patriots for a number of different reasons, mostly just because they were really good for over 20 years. This is a black mark and a blemish on not just the process, but on Canton and the Hall of Fame itself.
100% in. We talked about it off the top. I just don't understand it. And again, they always say the players know, coaches know, those guys know way more than any of us sitting around talking about it. When you see the amount of players and coaches yesterday that spoke out about it, to me, that's just the telling sign. You don't have to say and agree with media people and things like that. But when all the players say this is a joke, all the coaches say this is a joke, there has to be something there where the casual fan or someone that follows this goes, these guys know what they're talking about.
Well, it is a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 100% a joke. Look at this guy's career accomplishments. What else do you have to do?
Well, that was the line I saw most used on Twitter and elsewhere. Is like, if Bill Belichick's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, who is?
There you go. Yeah.
Are we talking about not putting Tom Brady in on his first ballot? He was involved in all the same issues that Belichick was. Right? He was there the whole time. Yes, he went on to have a little more success post Belichick than Belichick did post Brady, but that was only a couple of years, 2-3 years.
That doesn't matter.
That shouldn't matter at all. So it's absolutely ridiculous. And Josh, what was it was like a joke tweet, but it was someone with the selfie in the Hall of Fame. The bust behind him was OJ Simpson. Yes. And it's just like, yeah, can't let Bill Belichick in because he's not a good guy. Meanwhile, here I am standing with OJ Simpson. So, it's always a little hypocritical when you put things into context like that.
Yep.
And it's purely the rumors is that it's Bill Polian, former Bills and Colts GM.
Then he denied that too, though.
Seems to be driving this, that he was really trying to tip the scales.
Really?
Against Belichick, because he absolutely hates him.
Oh, that gives me the ick.
But didn't he say he denied that last night too, though?
Well, what? You'd admit it?
It's going to come out here.
Yeah, but no.
Think about everyone else here, Duke.
Here's the thing. Like
9 days. In 9 days, these names are coming out.
But that doesn't necessarily mean like the rumor is that he tried to influence other voters.
Yeah.
Rather than just cast his own vote. And so that we will not know.
Greasy.
That will remain speculative. Lastly, today is International Lego Day.
Oh, wow.
You know where Lego's from, Kev?
Just down here in the mall, like one.
I will say, as much as on Connor and mine's mall walks nearly every day, stores come and go. The Lego store is never not packed with people.
Never. Like, think about it when we come in here and the deliveries are coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there are crates and crates and crates and guys on those big trolleys just wheeling them in.
I was gonna say too, like some mornings I walk in, like go down to the Starbucks there, grab another coffee or something. Like every single time I come into the mall before, there are people waiting outside the doors for it to open.
Busy. Never not busy.
It's not even open yet.
Denmark, the answer to that question.
Oh, really?
Is the origin country of origin. Freddie Anderson would always have little Lego guys on his mask.
Is that right?
Art as a homage to his homeland. Anyway, my point today is a bucket. It's the random pail full of Lego pieces. Flats, blocks, maybe little men, construction workers, different characters. Take your pick. Just random pieces. I'll take that. It's more fun than building a predetermined box set that comes with instructions. I'm talking the Millennium Falcon, the Death Star. Those are obviously both Star Wars examples, but there's infinite options these days. There's a Lego for everything, but I'd rather just, let the creative mind go to work, build something unique rather than being told what to build.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from there, Duke. I must admit, I was never a Lego guy. I was never a Lego kid.
I was a Canucks kid.
Yeah, like I was just like pure sports kid. I did not care about Lego.
Get out of here, nerds.
At all. My kids like Lego. My daughters. I would say they definitely prefer the predetermined set with instructions. But if I was going to pick, I would probably be with you, Duke. I think that would be just a little bit painful to follow all those instructions.
Well, it's to me. When you have that, you're just building a puzzle instead of...
There's no creativity.
There's no creativity, which, and, people might call me out. This is not exactly a revelation. It's essentially the premise of the Lego movie.
Right.
Is the creativity and the master builders and, getting creative. So, which is an excellent movie, by the way. One of my favorites.
Really?
It's so funny. It's really good. And the music's great. Everything is awesome. Great song.
Speck would be taking the predetermined instructions.
Well, yeah,
because he wouldn't be able to figure it out, after his shelf building and all that.
Not Eddie though. Eddie's woodworking. He wants his mind to roam free and build as the creative juices flow.
Yeah, so I'm into. I'd rather just throw everything out there and see what you get.
Yeah,
see what you can come
was
up
Lego
with.
around when you were a kid, Kev?
Yeah, it was around.
I was gonna say, it's pretty
I'm
old.
probably like Schlemmer. We weren't big on it at all. I mean, we were outside.
As a kid, Kevin was just throwing rocks against the shed, and that.
I had Hugo, man of 1,000 faces.
Plus, he was busy rolling his ice cream cart all around
Dickie
town.
D ice cream, man. That's
and then
what we were
eating all
doing.
of his profits when he'd get home.
Oh,
Throwing rocks at a shed.
That's what my entertainment was sometimes.
That's what you did out on the farm.
Yeah, if I had a hockey stick and a net in the yard, but it was kind of tough sometimes to just shoot off grass.
But you had
instead I would
Lego?
just throw a rock against the
You had
shed.
Lego as a kid then?
Yeah, we did. But like I said, I actually was more. It's like a counter to it. It was called Canucks, and
Mhm.
rather than like blocks and stuff, they were more rods and little gears and things you'd put together. It was just a different idea of the same principle. I thought it was a little more advanced than Lego. I was a little bit of a prodigy as a kid, so had to keep my brain sharp.
He is a nerd.
No kidding.
Oh, also a standout athlete. Did I forget to mention that?
Anything else? Yeah.
Everything. Jack of all
Yeah,
trades.
exactly.
Capitals? You want to do capitals now or what?
That's right in my wheelhouse. Well, it's every morning when I come in here to grab new highlights and things for the show intro, a lot of the time the Jeopardy page will be a suggested video on my YouTube on the homepage. And if it's a category that interests me and I didn't watch the night before, quickly click on it. It was Capital Cities the other day, world capitals.
Really?
I'll tell you what, Kev, I'll ask you the question because it's Canadian relevant.
Oh, boy. Oh, no.
There's two capital cities in the world that share the name of provincial capitals in Canada.
Two capital cities in the world.
Two world city capitals.
Okay.
That share the name with capital cities of provinces.
Can we go to break first? Is there something? It's got to be something.
Victoria.
Bingo.
Okay, it's got to be something on in Atlantic Canada.
St. John or St. John's.
St. John's.
There you go.
Capital of Antigua and Barbuda.
Look at Duke. What just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, you sound really genuine when you say that too.
Good stuff, Duke. Yeah, maybe we should do some capitals here one of these days. Top of the hour, we'll get some of your texts at 10:20. We got Michael Trakos from the Hockey News. We'll discuss things maybe in Toronto, man. We could go on and on and on in Toronto and across the league too with the deadline and Olympic break, and obviously with the roster freeze. Tons to talk with Michael at 10:20. Before that time now, for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding. AWSwelding.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Three games in the NHL tonight. Rangers taking on the Isles from Long Island. Flyers play the Red Hot Blue Jackets in Colorado in our nation's capital to face the Ottawa Senators. Off the ice, Red Wings have extended Ben Sherratt a 3-year deal that will pay him an AAV of $3.85 million. The Oil Kings on the road playing the Hitmen down in Calgary, and a full slate in the PWHL. Montreal hosting Toronto, New York, in Boston, Seattle taking on Ottawa, and in the nightcap, Vancouver playing Minnesota. On the hardwood, 9 games total, including the Raptors at home hosting the Knicks for a 5 o'clock tip-off from Scotiabank Arena. Some breaking news out of the NFL this morning. Cleveland Browns set to hire former Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken as their next head coach. Monken returning to Cleveland, where he served as OC in 2019. Earlier this morning, Canada has announced its flag bearers for the upcoming Olympics in Italy. Michael Kingsbury and Marielle Thompson will share the honor. Mogul skier Kingsbury won gold in 2018 and silver in both 14 and 2022, while Thompson will be participating in her 4th Olympics as well, winning gold in ski cross in 2014 and silver in 2022. Draw 13 in the Scotties Tournament Hearts in Mississauga. Just wrapping up. Canada beat the Northwest Territories 13-2. Saskatchewan Yukon Stand-up still underway. Ontario up against Quebec, and coming up at noon, draw 14. Both Alberta rinks in action. Skirme playing Newfoundland, Sterling taking on Beth Peterson's Manitoba team, plus TEI against Christina Black, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick playing. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Carey Show, we'll be joined by Michael Krakos from the Hockey News. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, the Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59.9. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Legacy Heating and Cooling sucks. Yeah, Legacy can now suck your ducts with professional duct cleaning, furnace cleaning, and dryer vent cleaning.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
When you need the filth sucked from your air ducts.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
When you want cleaner air for your family.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Legacy now offers air duct cleaning. Book in today. Just call Legacy.
Does your New Year's resolution include saving money? Then don't miss the store-wide inventory clearance at the Brick. Save up to 70% off in-store clearance items. Buy more, save more on bedroom and dining furniture. Up to 25% off. Save on select major kitchen appliances. Plus, buy 2 or more and save the tax. Finally, a resolution you can keep. The Brick, saving you more. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Whoa, I gotta put some money on the game tonight. We hit our monthly budget. Whoa, how did you get in here? I'm you, the responsible you. We're right. We'll play another time. Sounds more like us.
If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. Everything is awesome when we live.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 10:08 in Edmonton. I just asked Mackenzie, what are we listening to? And she said, everything is awesome. Well, I guess it's awesome. No, she goes, that's who it is. Everything is awesome. Is that the band or is that the song? Sorry. Song? That's the song. Jurassic Bark says beautiful music lead-in, guys. Have you heard that one before, Schlemmer?
I have not.
I have not either. There's a few guys out there, and ladies too, Duke, that got the correct answer. Victoria and St. John's. The Duke was trying to pull a fast one here.
I was trying to pull a fast
Oh,
one.
yeah.
It's just a fun piece of trivia. It was on Jeopardy.
Trying to pull a fast one.
Trying to pull a fast one on you was asking if you knew where Lego originated.
You know what? I actually, and you'd be good on Jeopardy, Duke, if your reflexes could get the button down. Because, well, it's true. You know, you go and have a
Did you
few
miss the
pop-
part where I said I was a standout athlete?
I would bet you'd be behind, and you'd be the guy that would
I'd be
just
mashing,
jabbing
like, is this
at
thing
you.
working?
What's going on here? But it was a question for the only U.S. state, I think that borders. I think I have the phrasing right. Borders on 2 oceans, but I didn't know it was like kids. So the kids
Oh,
were.
you were watching Jeopardy.
Yeah, but I didn't see it till.
Kevin's like, man, I am crushing it today.
Well, but it was it was Final Jeopardy.
Oh, okay.
It was Final Jeopardy, and I wasn't really paying attention to it.
Right.
And then, so this was just a little thing, and then it said, what state is it? And the first two kids got. Then I realized that they were just kids, but I wasn't really watching the kids do.
Oh, those contestants look really young.
Well,
they
they were.
must be wicked smart.
Yeah. Text 833-401-1440. We're talking about doing stuff, and then, this is going to be Duke's Monday the following. Jay in Victoria says, last time the Seahawks won, I had a few pops. Next day I had, this is an old Army guy, had physical training, a run, and 100 burpee pull-ups. Worst day of my life, he says.
Had a few of those days.
Oh, man. Mostly in Arizona or where?
Oh, everywhere.
I guess. But, well, all the stories that you tell off the ice seem to originate in Arizona. Some of the better ones with Dennis and all those guys.
Yeah, true. Nicer weather, you get out and do more stuff.
What was the pool game called again?
Oh, Moneyball.
Moneyball. You guys should have patented that. Yeah. There you go. Oh, no, it wasn't. Matt and Leduc says it was actually, are you smarter than a fifth grader, not Jeopardy? No, it was Jeopardy. It was Jeopardy.
Kevin, how many Dickeritas were you in when this ordeal happened on a Friday night?
I know not many, Duke, but I know I'm not less, just over 48 hours away from a Dickerita.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Just over 48 hours away.
Mexico
Something tell me we might have a mail it in Thursday.
No, Duke, I go all the way to the end. But however, I went to, I guess it was Sport Check. I wanted to buy a couple new pairs of shorts for the trip. So I come back here yesterday at 20 to 12, and who's sitting at the bar but low tide? And he goes, hey, what do you got there? And I'm like, listen, I said, if I tell you what these are for or what I'm going to be doing with them, I said, all I'm going to do here is crap all day. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, well, I'm going to go to Mexico on Friday. Oh, so now he's going to be blabbing about that.
Giving it to you.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel guilty for taking a vacation,
I
bud.
do not at all.
What about the third vacation?
Oh, you need it. Oh, work-life balance, baby.
Kev,
Kev
works very hard. He's swinging hammers in here.
In this calendar year, Schlemmer, I added them up. In this calendar year, our year to year, September to August of this last holiday period, so far, the Duke has taken more days than me.
Oh, really? Wow.
Like in this one.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised to hear that.
September on,
because my year's vacation, and I'm running off the calendar.
I'm just talking stats here, Duke.
That's a cherry pick stat. You are, transveying to fit your narrative.
No, because that's when our holidays start. They don't start the calendar. They don't. It's not in January.
I didn't take any days off the calendar year previous.
Listen. Stats are stats. Facts are facts. Since September 1 to now, January 27th, the Duke has taken more holidays than me.
Yeah, that will be not true
next
by
week.
the end of.
So, Duke, you're sitting across here next week, buddy?
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. And here, Kevin says it as if he's been working his nose to the grindstone since September, when in reality he has taken I'm only beating him by 2 days, and I went on a Mexico week-long vacation.
Very true, Duke. But you know what? I got to get some shots in here while I can.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, because once you are gone, they will be taken at you freely and with no holds barred.
That's okay.
Exactly.
He won't be listening.
Yeah. Yeah. Not like me. When I was in Mexico, I was still an avid listener.
Were you?
No, not while I was there, but on the plane ride down, I was.
On the plane ride down?
Because the plane had Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So I just brought the YouTube up on my phone. I watched the show.
I guess we leave right around that time on Friday morning, Duke. I could probably listen Friday morning, but I won't. We're downloading some shows for the trip.
And, couple airport beers in you already.
Yeah, I would imagine there'll be.
You go to Chili's?
Well, whatever.
Chili's is great.
Usually that one. What's the name of that one now on the other by the WestJet kind of? Oh, I got to think of the name. It's not Chili's though, Duke. It might be. Maybe
there's a brew house down there now.
That's it. Brew house. That's what it is. Yeah.
Can't beat the Long Island iced teas at Chili's.
The old airport.
We used to have like several years. So Laura got the facial recognition. You know, the eyes where you, what's it
Like
called?
Nexus?
Nexus, yeah.
Yeah.
So she said, "Are you going to get it?" I said, "No." What for? Like, you know, so anyway, she goes into her line.
For your once a year vacation. What do you need it for?
Well, no, but what happened? This is years ago, Duke. Anyway, there were some people that overheard our conversation about who was going to get through security first. And everyone got on my side in the line. They all let me, they go beat her and get through. And here I was at Chili's at the time. This is years ago, having a Caesar before she got there. It was great.
That's
Unreal.
awesome. That's the one place
celebrity
you're not going to be
status never
judged.
rests for Kevin Karius.
Hey, that's one place you're never going to be judged for having a drink at 6 a.m.
No. Yeah. It's always open, right?
Yeah.
Or is it closed before 6 a.m.?
Actually, you know what? That's a law in Ontario. I remember when I was still in Montreal. I was meeting my dad in Myrtle Beach for a golf trip. So we had to meet up in Toronto. He was coming from Edmonton. It was like 9 a.m. You know, we're like, oh, we'll go get a beer.
Yeah.
Can't get a beer in Ontario, and not until like 10 or 11. It's the same laws as whatever outside the airport.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Where real laws exist instead of the lawless world that is the airport. I know there's some restaurants in the airport that are like closed between certain hours, but there are a couple that do not close and they serve alcohol the whole time.
Yeah. Because people
That one place in the international terminal, it's just called like Wings.
Yeah, I know the spot.
That's 24/7. I've had beers there, like getting there for a 5 a.m. flight at 3.
Oh, it's nothing better.
Had the pops.
When we come back, Michael Tracos from the Hockey News on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne, David Schlemko, Josh Fenwick, and Mac the Intern on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Made for some rough roads, but it means trails are now packed and ready for action. Don't miss out on riding adventures this winter with a Ski-Doo from Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. Work or play with new 2026 Generation 5 models with class-leading design and power. And right now, take advantage of 5.99% financing OAC. Only at Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. 15 Inglewood Drive in St. Albert. And always at riversidehonda.com. Shop local, shop Canadian.
At Cougar Paint and Collision, family incorporates everyone.
I mean, the staff at Cougar are the cogs in the wheel. If you've got one or two wheels that aren't rolling with the other one, then you're not going to have a smooth operation. Everybody that we have at the shop really enables us to continue to help Edmontonians. We just try and help people get their cars back on the road, and it's the people that work for you that are going to allow you to be successful.
Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Equipment Auction is this Friday at 9 a.m. featuring graders, forklifts, wheel loaders, man lifts, mini excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, plus commercial trailers and sea cans. Info at maauctions.com.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Industrial Auctions are this Thursday and Friday. These major events include multiple lanes selling a large section of multi-purpose trucks, equipment, and commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
You're listening to Sports 1440 and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Sports 24/7. We are Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 10:20 in Edmonton, and time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And at Fountain Tire, we focus on one thing, and it's your vehicle. We can meet all your car needs and more with our digital vehicle report. We just don't tell you what your car needs. We will show you. Book your appointment now at fountaintire.com. Today, as we welcome back Michael Trakos from the Hockey News Morning. Michael, you're with Kevin Karius and the former NHL defenseman, David Schlemko. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me on again, guys. Always great to join you.
Yeah. So, hey, you've covered this league and the Leafs for well over 20 years plus here.
Yeah, I got the lack of hair to show I've covered the Leafs for that long, guys.
You might have lost it in the last couple of weeks with the Leafs here, but
whatever was left.
Yeah, exactly. How do you compare? We see the noise from out here. It's multiplied, as you know, times a million in Toronto, Michael. But I guess just the overall feeling with this team in Toronto right now at this stage on the outside looking in as far as a playoff spot goes.
Yeah, I think there's a general sense of frustration, if not maybe a bit of malaise. It's been a hard season to be a Leaf fan, I imagine, in this market. For one, you lose your one of your superstars in Mitch Marner, and then to be looking at potentially missing the playoffs for the first time, I think in 9 or 10 years. That's a tough pill to swallow for the Leafs and the Leaf fans, because this is a team that once they had Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner drafted, it was you could basically pencil them in either 1, 2, or 3 in the Atlantic Division. And right now, the way it's looking, I just wrote this today, they have better odds of landing the number 1 overall pick in the upcoming draft than they do of grabbing that final wildcard spot. And I say this knowing that they're only 8 points out of a playoff spot. But, if you watch this team on a night-to-night basis, you would say that, the playoffs are way out of their grasp, just because they can't defend well. They can't keep the puck out of the net. And, for a team that's got all these offensive weapons, they are not, controlling the pace or the zone time in the offensive zone. I think according to NHL.com, they have the worst zone time in the offensive zone than any team in the NHL. So definitely a recipe for missing the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the sky is definitely falling in Toronto now. I guess the question is, what's next? I mean, like you said, they're 8 points out of a playoff spot. They got a 4-game Western swing before the Olympic break. Does that have any effect? I mean, how they do on Brad Treliving's decisions over this Olympic break here, or are they already kind of throwing in the towel? Like you say, playoffs are out of the picture, and it doesn't even really matter what happens on this 4-game swing.
Yeah, David, 2 weeks ago, I think there was conversations being had of, does this team go after a guy like Dougie Hamilton? Now you're wondering, okay, what can we get for Oliver Ekman-Larsson or Bobby McMahon, who's heading into unrestricted free agency and doesn't look like he's going to get re-signed by the Leafs. So, those are the conversations that are being had. The difficulty is it is Toronto. And, despite the fact that anyone can tell you that this is not a Stanley Cup contender, much less a playoff team, it's Toronto. And if you're Brad Treliving and you are the GM who not only lost Mitch Marner in the summer for basically nothing, but has now steered this team into a non-playoff spot for the first time in almost a decade, do you get a second crack at it? And that's always been the danger is, Toronto fans or ownership, they don't have the appetite for a rebuild. And, Treliving's got to be cognizant of that. And, maybe just to save his own job, he might be looking at making some smaller moves and maybe not putting up the for sale signs. Maybe, maybe he lets go of a guy like a Nick Robertson, who's not going to fetch you a first-round pick, but it's going to get you at least steered in the right direction when you're talking about future assets.
Michael Trakos from the Hockey News, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlemko. Would Treliving, Michael, make a big splash? We always hear the names that could be possibly floating around. Most of them have no movement clauses, but is there ever a possibility that he could go that direction too?
That's the one move one thing I'm wondering about is, Morgan Riley, hasn't had the greatest season. He's not the Morgan Riley of yesteryear. At the same time, he's still a good defenseman. The problem is, you mentioned he's got, a long-term deal. He does have a no movement clause. So whether it's today or in the next couple weeks during the Olympic break, I think the Leafs have to figure out if he'd be willing to waive his no move clause and have that difficult conversation with him if he wants to part ways. And this is a guy that's been through thick and thin with the Leafs. He was there during the Peter Horacek, Phil Kessel days, and he's also been there during the I want to say glory days, because they are glory days when you compare the Leafs to what they were beforehand of making the playoffs year after year and stubbing their toe in the first or second round. But, if Riley ends up going, I think that could be a sort of a move where you're saying, okay, here's a guy that is very much part of the leadership group, is sort of a core player for the Leafs. I don't sense that they are going to approach Austin Matthews with the same sort of move. He's got, I think, another 3 years left on his contract. I could see that maybe just playing out, or at least another couple years. But definitely with Morgan Riley, I think there's the potential where you could get something significant back.
Slimmer?
Yeah, just moving out west to Seattle. Wondering what you're hearing on potential suitors for Shane Wright and maybe what that price may be.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, obviously Shane Wright or Matty Beniers, high end picks who really haven't been able to tap into their offensive potential. If I'm the Seattle Kraken, what I need is goal scorers, and it doesn't look like Shane Wright is going to be that guy. It could be a change of scenery is what this guy needs. Maybe you put him into a system where he's more of an offensive player and he could be valuable. In terms of potential suitors, I haven't heard of anything specifically. But with a guy like Wright, and I'd even include Uri Slavkovsky in that mix, sort of younger guys who just haven't really been able to find their footing in their markets. There could be an appetite.
Michael Trinkos with us on Sports 1440. I just wanted to zip back to the East for a moment because it was top of mind for me, and it had to do with the game last night with Buffalo. And when you see what the Sabres have done here and their performance more recently, how they've turned things around here, Michael, going 19-3-1 in their last 23 games, coupled with what the Leafs have done, how much of a sour taste has that left things, in Southern Ontario, then across the border into where I think a lot of people are happy to see Buffalo finally turn things around?
I'm happy to see them turn around because I'm tired of writing the same old story, Kevin. Is just, when is it going to happen for Buffalo? And you could probably lump Detroit in that mix. There's a lot of fans from Southern Ontario who, are maybe Leaf fans first, but Buffalo Sabres fans seconds. And to that end, they're big Bills fans. So they're used to kind of crossing the border. Great sports market. That rink, I got a chance to cover the Sabres a lot when the Leafs weren't making the playoffs right after that initial lockout in 04-05, where they had some really fast, exciting teams. So I'm really happy that the Sabres are going to be able to do it. I think this is the year, they've teased fans in the NHL for last couple of years where they kind of go on these little runs and then all of a sudden, Cinderella loses her slipper and they kind of go back into being a pumpkin again. But it feels like this year is the real deal. And, Josh Doan's been fantastic for them. They're getting the goaltending that they typically never got. And when you look at that defense, like Rasmus Dahlin gets a hat trick last night, such a great, big, mobile, dynamic defense core that they have there. I know Owen Power hasn't put up the gaudy numbers that, are typical of defensemen, young defensemen nowadays, but as a bigger defenseman, I think it's going to take him a little bit more time. And when you watch him play, he looks great out there. Just the offense isn't coming for him. So I really like Buffalo. I'm kind of high on them. I think they could be a sneaky team in the playoffs. And right now it looks like they're going to be a playoff team.
Yeah, for sure.
Here in Minnie, still looking for a top six forward up front, possibly Vincent Trocheck in play. What are you hearing on that?
Yeah, well, if you're going to go for it, and this year seems like the year that Minnie is going for it, I would put them in the mix for everyone. And, I was joking with someone. It's like, we all joke that Panarin's going to end up in either Vegas or Florida because those are the two teams that seem to get the big name. But how about Minnesota? Like, would he work out there? And I know they probably might want a center versus a winger. But, if I'm Minnesota, you've got Kaprizov's contract kicking in next year. You've got Quinn Hughes that you're really trying to sell him on staying and extending in Minnesota. they have to make a big splash this year. And I say that knowing that, any team in the Central has to, come to face with the fact that you're going to probably have to go through Colorado to get to the Western Conference final, never mind the Stanley Cup final. But if I'm Minnesota, I love all the pieces they have there. Obviously, Jonas Brodin hurts them, that injury, but even with that, they got the goaltending. They've got the dynamic players that can kind of win you a series. If I'm Billy Guerin, I'm going all in.
Michael Trickus with us on Sports 1440. Michael, what do you make of the Winnipeg Jets here? Everyone knows how good they were last year. It's an identical situation with the Rangers the prior year, and then their downfall. That's where Winnipeg is right now. Do they have enough time to make up the ground that they need? It's 8 points right now for that last wild card spot.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like, I was on Winnipeg radio yesterday, and it's really a confusing team because you look at their, on paper, they look like the same team that they had a year ago, minus Nikolai Ehlers. And I know Jonathan Toews hasn't had the greatest time there this season when you're looking at his impact, but it's still a team with Connor Hellebuck, Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele, and Josh Morrissey, and they have some young guys that are exciting. It's just I just don't know if they have, like, similar to Toronto. It just feels like the runway is getting shorter on them making a move. And 8 points, you tell someone you're only 8 points out, it doesn't sound like much, but in today's NHL, like 8 points might as well be 80 points because of how much ground you have to make up. And because of the 3-point games now, it's just, from whatever reason, I don't think Winnipeg's going to be there at the end of the day.
Yeah, they do have an awful lot of ground to make up in their roster. So top heavy when it comes to one line scoring, and Hellebuck's been just okay this year. But if there's a team that can make that up, I think it still is Winnipeg. They got a long way to go. I just
who do you knock out if who's Winnipeg knocking out? That's the other question.
Exactly, but you're just hoping for one of those teams you got to go on a Sabres run here is what I'm saying. And then you're hoping that the Kings.
And you got to get lucky that an Anaheim or a San Jose or whoever's in that wild card spot. And I think the wild card's probably going to come out of the Pacific. Maybe even in Nashville, they got to fall as well. So you need help. You got to go on a run, and you need a lot of help. And I think that's why it's so difficult for teams that are on the outside looking in right now. It's just there's not enough games, it feels like.
As bad as things have been in Toronto, could you imagine being in Vancouver right now, Michael?
Oh boy. We were just talking about Thatcher Demko and what you do with that kind of, contract, because correct me if I'm wrong, is this the second hip surgery that he's going to be undergoing now? And
I don't know, but he's always hurt.
Always hurt,
yeah, he's always hurt. And like 2 years ago, this is a guy that was a Vezina Trophy finalist, and he's 30 years old. He's not an overly big guy. Like, I remember Rick DiPietro used to always get hurt, and he was a big goalie. Like, he was a thicker guy, a lot of weight on him. And you're going, okay, well, every time he drops into the butterfly, that can't be great on his knees and his hips. And, I believe Demko's like 6'4", under 200 pounds. Mm-hmm. But, when you get those hip injuries, they're never good, especially as a goalie. And it's really hard to kind of come back from that and be the same goalie. Even if Demko, does come back and he's, a Canuck next season, I got to think that he's no longer penciled in as a number one goalie. At best, he's going to be in a tandem situation.
Yeah.
Michael, I was wondering what you make of the Andre Palat trade. Now, here's a player who's a good veteran guy. He's been a big piece on some winning teams. Does he still have something left in the tank to help the Islanders here?
Well, you said it, David. He's a veteran guy. And, if you talk to John Cooper with the Tampa Bay Lightning during those Lightning Cup runs, and, Palat was very much a coach's dream during that time. He's a guy that, Patrick Waugh was chewing out the Islanders the other night for not competing, and he benched the entire first line. This acquisition by Matthew Darche, who had him in Tampa Bay, is, I think a result of that game. You want to bring in a veteran like Palat, who has been there before, can make sure that you're not going to give it up on a night-to-night basis, that you're always going to bring your best. And, he's not the same player he used to be. He's not going to produce like he did when he was on that triplets line with Nikita Kucherov and Tyler Johnson. But I think in a fourth line role, he's going to be helpful. I think even more so in the dressing room, he's really going to be helpful for a young team that is trying to ensure that they remain in a playoff spot.
Yeah. Michael Trickos with us. One last one for you. I actually watched Patrick Kane get the assist last night to tie him with Mike Modano all-time points by an American player, 1,374. It was sort of non-eventful because of how the game script dictated and how the assist happened and where it was in the game. But do you have Patrick Kane as your number one all-time American player?
Yes. And we were talking about this just amongst ourselves at the Hockey News is, who's going to be the heir apparent to Patrick Kane, or is there going to be one? And at one time I would have said Austin Matthews. He might have put up those same point totals. And, we thought at one time he was going to win some cups. We'll see if he ends up doing that. But now I'm thinking Patrick Kane is for sure the number one American born player. But, if there's going to be an heir apparent, I can see it being Matthew Tkachuk. He's already won 2 Stanley Cups. He might end up adding a gold medal at the Olympics this year to it. And when you're looking at young kids now in the States and who they're modeling their game after, they used to say it was Patty Kane. But now if you're a young kid, how can you not model your game after, a Matthew Tkachuk who plays with that skill, but also plays with that kind of ferocity and
bunch of rats around.
Yeah. It's kind of a mix of Canadian kids used to grow up playing. I used to always say I want to be Doug Gilmour or Wendell Clark, play with that kind of nasty edge. And now American kids are kind of growing up trying to be the next Matty Tkachuk. So it's kind of fun how that's gone. But yeah, for Patrick Kane, there's no one as talented as Showtime when you're talking about American-born players.
Yeah. Matthew Tkachuk, those are 2 swear words in these parts. As always, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the regular season here as we get to the Olympic break, and then the Olympics. I'm sure we'll talk in the next little bit. Thanks, Michael, as always.
Awesome, guys. Thanks so much.
It's Michael Trachos from the Hockey News and the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And again, we focus on one thing, and it is your vehicle. Check them out, fountaintire.com. Book your appointment today. He's Kane's number one, eh?
Oh, yeah.
The cups,
hard to get 3 cups, and man, he's just nasty with the puck.
But if he's a 10 on the scale, Mike Modano's
right up there.
He's an 8 or whatever you want to call it. But
I remember as a kid when Modano would come to town, you'd see that jersey, half tuck, just flying in the air.
Well, it seemed like because he skated so fast and he was so flawless and effortless, but it's almost like that jersey that was in the back just flapping.
Yeah.
It's almost like it was custom made for him to do that. You know what I mean? It was like the aerodynamics of it. More, some players have skated as fast as Modano and whatever.
Oh, jerseys are just made a lot more to fit now, I think, than they were in the early 90s.
Oh, man. Yeah, he was. When I was covering the Western League, he just got traded from Prince Albert. Well, no, not traded. He was in Prince Albert and then moved on, obviously. Came from Michigan, so it was unreal for him to get there. They had some great players back, like Leon. You think about Prince Albert, you get Leon and you get Mike Modano playing there.
A couple of pretty nice imports.
You got that right. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick, Mac the intern. We are on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Exciting news from St. Albert Dodge. The all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages have arrived. They have a great selection and a bunch of colors to choose from. And if you've checked out the Sport, you know it comes in some fun colors. Rugged capability, practical off-road features, and you can get behind the wheel for as low as $49,900. That's right. Put yourself in a brand new Jeep Gladiator Sport for less than $50,000. What more can you ask for? Time to head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Mr. Rooter goes skiing. Sick gear, Mr. Rooter. Are you ready to hit the slopes?
Not yet. I need to report a possible crime.
Oh no, what's happening?
I saw a bunch of hooligans discussing shredding the half pipe. As a plumber, I've taken the Hippocratic oath to do no harm and act in the best interest of all pipes, whether PVC, copper, or otherwise.
It's made of snow, Mr. Rooter.
No, things are worse than I had feared.
There's no better plumber than Mr. Rooter.
The new double cheesy melt at McDonald's. We're talking 2 juicy, mouth-watering 100% Canadian beef patties, 2 slices of cheesy goodness, with even more melty, cheesy sauce on top. Topped with pickles, then crispy and grilled onions. The way it all comes together, you don't just eat it, you melt into it. The double cheesy melt, only at McDonald's. For a limited time only, at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
He's heading into the driveway. Temperature's dropping fast, folks. He opens the hood and, oh no, the battery's on thin ice.
Yeah, that's a tough break, Tim. I mean, you can't expect to compete and win with weak parts in your game like that.
But wait, he's made a clutch move. He's gone to Napa Auto Parts for the win. They've got batteries, winter-grade oils, antifreeze, and wiper blades built for cold Alberta conditions.
That's a championship play, Tim.
With over 85 Alberta locations, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Catch the biggest game on the biggest screens in the city. River Free Resort and Casino invites you to the ultimate football watch party. Sunday, February 8th in the venue. 3 giant screens, all-you-can-eat buffet, desserts and snacks, $5.25 drink features, and tons of prizes. Don't miss River Free's ultimate football watch party with premium VIP seating available. Tickets at riverfreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it. You're listening to Sports 1440 and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Sports 24/7. We are Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 1043 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, David Schlemko with you on a Wednesday morning as we wrap up the show. David Schlemko, powered by Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family for over 40 years, part of the Napa Certified Auto Body Program, CougarCollision.com. Tiger texted, hey, talk about Prince Albert, you can't forget Pat Ellinuck. Yes, first round pick in 85. He was a guy that I ended up playing against lots younger.
Oh, yeah.
Then he went to another level. He was a really good player. He says Medano was great in junior right away. You could see how good he would be. Yeah, I mean, he was just a really good player.
Jackson Rudolph about to go in the first round this year out of PA.
Mm-hmm. Gruff says, hey, KK, Dave Manson, Ken Baumgartner were on those Medano PA Raider teams. Maybe a tad before, I think, Gruff. Like, they were as tough as Terry Sims. Like, we're talking in the 80s here when Bomber and Manson were there. Like, you know, Manson played as a 16-year-old and was as tough as anyone in the league as a 16-year-old.
Well, sure.
And that would have been in whatever, 86 or whatever it was.
I remember him as a pro.
Yeah.
Nails.
Yeah. Charlie Manson and Ken Baumgartner. Yeah. Bomber was at the Memorial Cup. They played Windsor. No, not Windsor. Where was Bob Probert playing? Was it Sioux?
I'm not sure.
I think it might have been the Sioux. They got into it in the penalty box. It's one of the best things from the Memorial Cup. Those two guys just going at it, and the gate slid open, and the linesman's trying to get in.
I don't remember that.
No, it's in the 80s.
Yeah, maybe not. No video footage of that.
Oh yeah, there's video
There is?
footage.
Oh, I gotta find that.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm pretty sure. Let me just punch it up if I can. Maybe get the date on it too. Bob Probert, infamous Memorial Cup, 1985 Memorial Cup. Sioux, Probert and the Raiders in the penalty box. Trading blows. It goes on for like a minute. It's pretty, and they're like, they're hammering each other.
That's like the Iron League back in the Western League those days, man.
So
The teams had to take warm up
look at this.
separately.
These two guys are going at it. Like that's
Oh wow.
like that's in the box and
They don't even hardly have gear on
nothing.
anymore.
Well, everyone had those were all the old Cooper shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Those ones that had very little. And you know who the funny part in this video, the guy watching from outside the penalty box. Well, there was two guys. I think I can't make out the one guy. One guy for the Raiders that is watching, former police chief Dale McPhee.
No way. He was on your first show.
Yeah, he was on the very first show. Yeah, exactly. Sham says, I think they fought 3 times in that game. I don't know. I can't. Again, 85. We're talking 41 years ago. Yeah. 10:47 coming up. Oilers in San Jose tomorrow, Schlemmer. So we'll get to see Macklin Celebrini. It's not like we haven't seen him before, but
No, excited to watch this young team though, man. They're still hanging around.
You think they make the playoffs?
I don't think they make the playoffs, but I hope they do.
Okay.
I think it'd be a nice story.
Who else? I mean, I'm just when you punch up, like, there were so many people talking about how they were assembling their defense. Remember when John Klingberg got signed?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to get to the cap floor, right? So bring in
Klinger, you got Orlov.
Orlov was the other guy, yeah. And Vinny Desharnais will be back, right?
I mean, you look at this team on paper, like they don't look like a very good team. I was looking at their depth chart this morning before I walked in. Like the guys they got on first, second line left wing, I didn't even know who they were. It was like Graf and Regenda or something like that. So, I mean, they must be doing something right.
I don't know for sure, but I can tell you this, that I'm going to say for sure, and not even do any research on it. So Macklin Celebrini has 78 points. Next highest point total guy, call it Tyler Toffoli with 50. He's played 51 games, same amount. He's got 35 points. Will Smith has 36 points, but he's been hurt for a lot of the year.
Right.
38 games.
I would have guessed he would be second.
Yeah. So think about it. From Celebrini to Toffoli, more than double the points that Celebrini has for a guy that's played the same amount of games.
Really carrying the load as a 19-year-old.
19 years old. Who do you think he plays with at the Olympics? Is there a better fit? Does he remember last year at the Worlds? Sid Crosby said, I want to play with
this
him.
guy. I would love to see him on a line with Crosby and McKinnon, but who knows? It's an embarrassment of riches, right?
Think it's a great fit.
I'd love to see it.
I want to see some 5-on-5 with McDavid
And McKinnon. The nuclear option.
Just pounding. I'm with you too. When you look at the depth chart that they have, especially on the back end, so their top pairing is Orlov and Klingberg. Then they got Mario Ferraro and Timmy Liljegren, who was with the Leafs for years.
That's a third pair at best on a lot of playoff teams.
And then they have one of the best up and coming defensemen in Sam Dickinson, and I think he's been playing with Vinny Desharnais.
Yeah,
or
Twin Towers back there.
Oh yeah, Vinny's a monster, man.
Yeah, that Dickinson's a good player.
So they have two of the top guys, and then Will Smith is a young guy, obviously too.
Yeah, yeah. Lump him right in there with the other two. He's been great.
Yeah. Kiefer Sherwood comes in there. I think he's on IR right now. I got to check, but
is he?
Yeah,
that's a nice addition for them.
It is, but to me, I'm not paying that guy $5-6 million a year.
No,
sorry.
No. That would be a mistake. That's gonna hurt you. few years down the road when you're really good, and that's a contract that you're going to want to get rid of, right?
We were talking about Matthias Ekholm too for the last few days. He had the opportunity to being named for a replacement for the Swedish Olympic team. As of now, doesn't look like that's happening.
Oh,
But
it's Lindholm.
Yeah, Hampus Lindholm.
I can't argue with that. That's one guy I think is really underrated in the league.
Hampus Lindholm?
Yeah, I mean, you look at his game, he brings a lot of the same things that Ekholm does. He's just a little bit younger, maybe a little more fleet of foot.
Yeah. Text 833-401-1440. Not even worth bringing up West Van's texts as usual because so off point. It's not even funny. Ryan says, I know I missed Twang Tuesday, but wow, the last couple songs here. IMAC even. What happened to my dog died, my truck died, and my wife left. Hey. You never heard about that, Mac? If you wanted, how to get your wife back, your truck back, and your dog back? Yeah, but you know how to do it, right? Yeah, you spin a country record backwards. Yeah. Tiger says, I was out of the car. Did you read my text? He's so excited. Yes, I did, Tiger, about Pat Elenick. Yeah, he played in the AAA league in midget back. Well, then he got called up to the Raiders. He was that good as a 15 and 16-year-old.
Was he pro?
Pat Elenick, played many years for the Jets. He was drafted. He was drafted in the first round of the Jets. I think he was 15th overall. I can't remember now. 8 overall.
Wow.
Yeah, 8 overall. Played many years for the Jets, then went to Washington, Tampa, and Ottawa. 500 games, had 154 goals. But that one year when he was drafted,
career.
He was had 53 goals as a Raider. So he was really from Foam Lake, Saskatchewan. A lot of guys out of Foam Lake.
Foam Lake.
Bernie Frederico.
Oh,
Polonich's. Mike Polonich was out of there.
Polonich's.
Yeah. Mike Polonich was, Dennis Polonich.
So I had Dennis Polonich. He used to be one of my agents.
Dennis did?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
He worked with Elaine Waugh, RSG Sports. He's a beauty.
I could tell you some stories about Dennis. Yeah, we go back a long ways too.
I'm sure you could.
Yeah, well, he was crazy too. Like when he played, he was 5'6" and 160 pounds and fought everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was wild.
Still psycho.
He was psycho. So how long was he your agent?
Like all through junior, and then like maybe my first year or two of pro. I think he was with the company. I think he kind of helped start it or something. And
oh man,
he would talk to the young guys, travel around a little bit.
Yeah,
Western Canada.
Yeah, I remember back because he finished, and I don't even have to look. He was 398 or 399 NHL games. Back in the day, you needed 400
to get your pension,
to get the higher pension or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, so I remember asking him about that because he was coaching in Yorkton when I got my first job there in 1990.
Okay.
So, but we had run-ins because he was still there when I was playing against him. We used to get him going all the time. He was an easy target though.
Oh, he's a beauty.
Yeah.
He just ask him, he'll take out his teeth and start telling stories. He's that beauty.
Yeah. His daughter was a really good golfer back in the day too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I shouldn't even say this, but there was a Goldie McLennan used to play for
the Eskimos. Yeah, that's his son-in-law. I met him in Arizona.
Did you meet him? Okay,
they lived out there.
Goldie was a real beauty.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, exactly. So that's, again, we're going back a long time here, Slimmer. Wow. Great show, big guy. What do you got on tap for the weekend? Then are you going to be in to help the Duke next Wednesday? Because
absolutely.
Oh, wow.
I want to leave the Duke hanging.
Well, Laddie is. He's not coming in. Well, have a great weekend, Schlemmer.
You too, buddy.
And we'll see you in a little bit. Probably a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. Whatever.
Enjoy your holiday, bud.
Oh, I will. I can't wait
to come back.
I can't wait to get the hell out of here. No, I'm just kidding. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Ross Chef T-Bird.
Connor Halley and the Duke of Delburne at 12 o'clock. It's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell. 2 to 6, Jason Greger drives you home with the Jason Greger Show. We got Fox Sports all night long, and we're back with you tomorrow morning at 7 bells. Before that time now for a Sports 1440 update, And again, we've given away 3 tables at first round, tables of 6. We've got 3 more to go. Maybe we'll do one tomorrow, and we'll also do some next week as well. You could win up to $3,000 of a home theater system, all at first round. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for sending in all the texts. Thanks for being a part of the show. Could not do it without you. We're back here tomorrow morning at 7 bells with our co-host Ladislav Schmid sometime around 9:30. Until then, here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Three games in the NHL tonight. The Rangers taking on the Isles from Long Island. Flyers playing the Red Hot Jackets, Colorado, in our nation's capital to face the Senators. Off the ice, Detroit Red Wings extended defenseman Ben Trott on a 3-year deal that will carry an AAV of $3.85 million. The Oil Kings on the road tonight playing the Hitmen down in Calgary. And a full slate in the PWHL. Montreal hosting Toronto. New York and Boston. Seattle taking on Ottawa. And in the nightcap, Vancouver playing Minnesota. On the hardwood, 9 games total, including the Raptors hosting the Knicks for a 5 o'clock tip-off from Scotiabank Arena. Some breaking news out of the NFL this morning. Cleveland Browns set to hire former Ravens OC Todd Monken as their next head coach. Monken returning to Cleveland, where he served as the offensive coordinator in 2019. Earlier this morning, Canada announced its flag bearers for the upcoming Olympics in Italy. Michael Kingsbury and Marielle Thompson will share the honor. Mogul skier Kingsbury won gold in 2018. Silver in both 14 and 2022, while Thompson will be participating in her 4th Olympics as well, winning gold in ski cross in 2014 and silver in 2022. Draw 13 of the Scotties of tournament apart in the books. Canada beat Northwest Territories 13-2. Saskatchewan beating Yukon 10-4. Nova Scotia again past BC 11-10, and Ontario top Quebec 8-5. Coming up in draw 14 at noon, both Alberta rinks in action. Sturmey playing Newfoundland, while Sterling goes up against Beth Peterson's Manitoba team, plus PEI against Christina Black's Nova Scotia squad, and New Brunswick taking on Nunavut. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brennan Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.